It means different things to different people. To some, it is merely a word, while to others, it is an ideal that breathes life into their very existence. Today, on a famous patch of grass in Gauteng, two groups of men seek to have their legacies gilded in glory. Under golden sunshine in the city of gold, there's gold on the line as the Fidelity ADT Lions host the Suzuki Griquas in the final of the Carling Currie Cup. What a day awaits us here in Johannesburg. The Suzuki Griquas have fought tooth and nail to reach yet another final after disappointment on home turf in 2022 against the Pumas. As for the Lions, looking to bury the demons of 2024 when they lost to the Sharks in dramatic fashion right here at the same ground. Ellis Park is ready to host the fans of the Fidelity ADT Lions in wonderful weather conditions, perfect conditions for running rugby, and we should see plenty of that here today. Here are the starting lineups for the two sides, starting with the traveling side, the Griquas, the Peacock Blues. Yanku Ace had struggles at line-out time. His coach, Peter Berg, was quick to point out not all his fault, going to have to sort that out. Dirkie Pretorius is in to replace Malembe Mpofu. George Whitehead with 78 points to his name, the #1 point scorer in this year's competition. Dangerous back three, Gershwin Ware, 8 tries to his name, Dylan Mart and Cameron Hupke. Watch out for those. Should the Griquas be able to spread the ball to those areas of the field that had some struggles in the last few rounds, exploiting those outside backs who are so dangerous whenever they do get to touch the ball, and score tries galore to start out this competition and set the foundation for the Griquas to be here today. As for the Fidelity ADT Lions, with a sputtering start, they came good in the end, lost only 2 matches away from home against the Free State Cheetahs and the Boland Cavaliers. Franco Moret is in to replace regular captain PJ Buerta, meaning that Kieran Horn has the chance today to lift the coveted trophy with so much history behind it. Kelly Mpeku has had a watershed season on the right wing, attended KES, the same school that was attended by his coach, who went on to be the first team coach of King Edward School and now is the coach of the Fidelity ADT Lions, and has done such great work with the Lions Cubs, who dominate the lineup here today for the team in red and white. The occasion is absolutely massive. I cannot wait for this match to get started, and joining me in commentary today is a man who has taken part in this very competition in a jersey of light blue. He is Mthunzi Fudge Mabet. A big day, Fudge!
Yeah, Paul Stubbs, what a privilege, a pleasure and an honor. The oldest provincial rugby tournament in the world. It's incredible. It's the Suzuki Griquas up against the Fidelity ADT Lions. It's the dark horses, you could say, in this game, underdogs up against the Fidelity ADT Lions, who'll be feeling vengeful. Two sides that play a very similar style of rugby. They like to deserve the right to throw it wide. They love playing transition ball, and it's all about who will be on that coveted trophy. Gorgeous trophy, one of the best trophies in world sport, if I can say that. But what a massive moment for these players as well. For the Suzuki Griquas, they said, we don't want to come to the final just to be a partake in it. We want to win it. We want to lift it. For the Fidelity ADT Lions, well, for them, all the pressure on them. They've got to win. They're playing here at home at Ellis Park. It's a fantastic vibe out here. I can't wait to see the action on the pitch. Great set-piece battle. Tsebo Lenkosi Dlamini will be important there. And oh my goodness, those back three, look out.
Well, if they get the ball running, it is going to be entertaining for both sides here. They've got some serious firepower on the bench to the Lions as well, most notably Renzo Duplessis, the most valuable player in the 2024 Carling Currie Cup, who plays off the bench, and surely what is a tactical play from Mziwake Nkosi and his coaching staff. The two teams are lined up. We are ready for the national anthem to be belted out here at the famous Ellis Park. What a day we have ahead of us. This is going to be a fascinating 80 minutes of rugby ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're willing and able, please stand for the singing of our national anthem, which will be sung by Mauritian Laters.
Nkosi sikeleli Afrika, maluphakanyisa uphondo lwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo, murena buluka sichaba chapasa, Yesu, si chapasa, South Africa, South Africa. Die blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons ziel, oor ons eeuwige gebergtes, waar die kranse antwoord gee, sounds the call to come together. United we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
It's go time in Gauteng. The Fidelity ADT Lions hosting back-to-back Carling Currie Cup finals. Can they make it count this time around? They have a fiery side full of talent that will be taking part in the Vodacom URC in just about a week's time now, and it's all on the line here. The gold awaits at the end of this match. Christopher Allison is in the middle with the whistle. The Suzuki Griquas are full of intent themselves. They've got a lot of hurt in their hearts dating back to 2022. Fudge, do you dare to guess who's going to win this one?
I mean, it's all about history, isn't it? 55 years, 55 years, apologies, for the Suzuki Griquas since the last time they won a Carling Currie Cup final. 10 long years for the Fidelity ADT Lions. History will be made here regardless. Massive. That number 3, Asenathi Nhlabakanye. Does he change things a bit? Suzuki Griquas have been struggling with scrums and lineouts. They're without Malembe Mpofu. So look out for that. Derek Pretorius is there with 2 5s. It's a juicy one. It really is. From 1 all the way down to 23 proper matchups.
Good luck.
It is going to be a fascinating 80 minutes of rugby that lie ahead of us. Chris Smith in the number 10 for the Fidelity ADT Lions. What a signing he has been. He is, of course, a Currie Cup champion with the Bulls from the 2020 and 2021 seasons. And he did great work for them in the URC as well, winning the Golden Boot on one occasion. Henku van Beek in the outside center. Watch out for him. He is explosive. Angelo Davis scored 4 tries in the semi-final just a week ago right here on this ground. Danger abounds from both sides as we have kickoff in the Carling Currie Cup final of 2025. Great chase up from the Lions. Angelo Davids starting them off on the right foot. Taken in confidently by Dylan Mart, who got a try of his own in the semi-final hosted in Kimberley for the Griquas when they overcame their central rivals, the Toyota Cheetahs, by 25 points to 5. George Whitehead will enjoy kicking at altitude. He fires it out, played in by Kewan Horn. Chris Smith links with Kewan Horn. Loves to beat the first defender, does Horn. Dragged down by Gustav Erlang. Stain. Nhlabakanye. Oh, he gets about his work early. Stain to Smith. Creel with the hands. Henku van Beek. Charging at the defensive line. Good tackle in the end by Bester. Wonderful hands those from S.J. Kotze. Horn looking to spread it from right to left. The Lions running the ball early on here. Via Steenkamp. Stain. Nhlabakanye. Soft hands from the big man. Franco Maria takes it to ground. Sharp play from Yanko Ace. Just couldn't keep his hands on the ball, so the Lions will continue on their path of destruction so far early on. Henku van Beek beats a couple. Stain. Not interested in setting a scrum. The Lions are running it. They run into some cold shoulders there. Chris Smith delays his pass. Dylan Shoblom, once a Griqua himself, brought down. And Nhlabakanye, yet again at first receiver. Chris Smith looks to play it. Huge with the chicken wing. The grabber through comes from Gershon Weir. Here comes danger from the Griquas against the run and play. They will open the scoring through Cameron Hafka.
Just want to have a look at the. Well, they're just complaining about a.
What a start! We knew it would be a bomb. Fireworks at the start. Fidelity ADT Lions building the phases really nicely. Asenathi Nhlabakanye not reintroducing himself, but showing what he's all about. Play on was the call from the referee, advantage over because they played so many phases, and that's the work rate that the Suzuki Griquas need.
Advantage was
Following
clearly
up the
over,
kick,
and there's no
shifting
clear
off
knock-on
of
to the
players,
Griquas.
every man IDing and staying alive. We know Gershon Weah and Cameron Hufke, two of the quickest players on the pitch. They link up beautifully, great awareness and great skill to finish off. Brilliant start, Suzuki Griquas.
Well, put the cat amongst the pigeons. All the play going to the home side. But all the points right now going to the traveling team. The Suzuki Griquas take the lead, 7 points to 0.
Yeah, it's all about a rope-a-dope, hold, allow the Fidelity ADT Lions to keep punching against that wall, and then when the moment comes, pounce. And that's exactly what Gershon Weah and Cameron Hufke do here. Good phase play by the Fidelity ADT Lions, fantastic shape and pressure absorbing, and the finish by Cameron Hufke, top-notch.
And now we go again. Chris Smith sends it high. Griquas would have had an injection of energy on the back of that counter-attacking try initiated by those dangerous outside backs that we spoke about pre-match. The dangerous number 9, Caleb Abrahams. 6 tries to his name in this year's Carlin Currie Cup. The former Grey College student hangs one high. Oh, Zwellendaber got underneath that one, could not hold on to it. Steenkamp, great leg drive, runs it back at the Griquas. Here's Stein. Chris Smith just having to think again as Mpeku changed his position. Kewan sees some space over the top and pops one. A great kick from Kewan.
Yeah.
That's the combo right there. Niku Stein, Kewan, and then of course Chris Smith. What a lovely addition he is just before the URC. Just allows the players to open up on the wider channels. Game they love playing. You've already seen Kewan breaking through the line already. And this a great opportunity for the Fidelity ADT Lions to apply some pressure. First line out of this final.
Will always be the middle.
Huge problems at line-out time in the semi-final against the Cheetahs for the Suzuki Griquas. They get started well, firing it into Albert Liebenberg. And Whitehead goes long.
Great exit. It's clinical from both these sides so far in the game. George Whitehead, what an asset he will be for the Suzuki Griquas.
This is the middle.
Especially controlling the game. Fidelity ADT Lions did win the toss, chose to kick off first. Apply pressure nice and early, but Suzuki Griquas handling it really well so far.
Well, that line-out feed from Franco Murray, not the straightest, but no contest from the Griquas, so no call from referee Allison. And correctly so. Stein plays it away. Looking Van Veek right on the defensive line. Janku Ace hunting it on the ground. Could not keep his clutches on it. Davids to Smith. The charge down comes. Is there danger again here? Here comes Gershon Weah. It's all on the touch. Chris Smith has done just enough, but only just. And Kewan looks to get the Lions back on the front foot. Deadly stepping from the youngster with one Springbok cap to his name. Franco Murray gets his pass away, and Klabakanya just can't get his hands free this time. Otherwise, there was a half gap for the Lions to exploit. Soft stuff from Whatsa. Creel knocks it on. Great endeavor early on from the Lions. No payoff quite yet.
Yeah, they know how to play the Suzuki Griquas side, though not many changes since they met. It was 37-7. Fidelity ADT Lions blowing them out the water. But again, great awareness. Zane Bester keeping his eyes on the player, making sure his body's nice and big. Charge down is there, and this excellent play. Really going for it, the Fidelity ADT Lions. Some are saying they're trying to win this game in the first 40. That was the right play. They had a 3-man overlap.
Oh, when they met in round 7, it was the Griquas that struck first via the explosive and fiery flanker, Flam Oosthuizen. And after that, it was all Lions, 37 points to 7 in the end. Any chance of things happening differently here, Fudge? Griquas strike first?
Well, Paul, here's a little stat for you, in fact. 60% of the time these sides meet, the team that scores first wins the game. How's about that? Of course, with a game like this and both sides really going toe-to-toe early on, it'll probably be high scoring. In fact, the Fidelity ADT Lions are averaging around 40 points per game. So that's what they score. And we're up against both these sides, up against each other, 1 and 2 on the log. Best sides in terms of scoring tries and defending. 1 and 2 on the log. So we really do have the best of the best in the 2025 Carling Currie
sub is
Cup
on, let's
after
go.
7 rounds. And that's just how good this year's Carling Currie Cup has been. Very competitive. They've done so well, both these coaching staffs and the management, to keep these players fit. Marco de Wit comes on for Carlisle for the little niggle there. But they'll be really happy with the experience and the rotation they've had with all the players in the 23. Should be easy to substitute in.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Caleb Abrams feeds the scrum. The Griquas absorb the pressure. And Abrams breaks blind. Here's Whitehead.
Keep that on hand.
Waits for the defense to approach. Puts it on the toe. Line out Lions. Destination A for Carlisle, so there's a good chance he will return to the field. But the Griquas today will miss Malembe and Mpofu, that's for sure.
Yeah, what a season from Malembe Mpofu. He's done so well. It's great contesting as well. This is the part of the pitch as well. He's able to come with turnovers. Will Derek Pretorius be able to fill those shoes together with another very talented Albert Liebenberg?
Rare feeds taken in by Shablom. And the Lions get about their running game once more. Ruan Venter. One cap Springbok.
Use it now!
Gargantuan flanker for the Lions, carries it in, and here is Nico Steyn under big pressure from Marco de Wit. Great contest under the ball from Angelo Davids, but Dylan Mart fights hard in the air. What a take from the Griquas wing. Whitehead looking to change direction, looking to be the general the Griquas need today. And he fires them back into the right area of the field.
Just extremely impressive how the back three, especially for the Suzuki Griquas, some players coming from Safgol playing that club rugby. Dylan Mart, what a story from him. Played only serious rugby after high school and even then had a job. And for him to be able to execute that level of technique under the high ball, my goodness, take a bow. He's had a wonderful season, Dylan Mart.
Franco Marais, another successful line out for the Lions. Once more hitting Shablom, and as for hits, Klabakanya gets put down. Zwelendaba trying to grab it through. It's a knock-on. We're going to have a scrum to the Griquas. I would like to have another look at that hit.
Yeah. Milash, Asanatin Klabakanya, he's all about the hard stuff, but look at the placement and the anticipation from Gustav Erlang, excellent. And then when you've got Lawrence, Reinhard, Oosthuizen, Fluff there as well, the number 6, big and strong. He's the wrecking ball for the Suzuki Griquas, and you can see making an impact on defense already. It's big and strong. It's one of the talents that I don't think has been unearthed yet, but just look out for him in this final. He'll play an important part.
The Lions are the betting favourites to win, but expectation breeds pressure.
If you start there, you got to stay there.
7-0 right
Crouch!
now. Griquas on the front foot.
Bind! Sit!
Options either side for the Peacock Blues as Caleb Abrahams feeds. Break from Gustav Erlang. He's going to take on the defensive line. Chris Smith looking for the turnover. Cannot secure it. Captain Dlamini.
Away!
The Griquas keeping it conservative for the time being. Meter by meter approaching that Fidelity ADT Lions try line. Klabakanya challenge, good leg drive. Oosthuizen now, look how close they are, increasing the pace of recycle. Caleb Abrahams waits, and now he sets it free from Nombo Zwelendaba. Whitehead over the top for Gershwin, where? Goose stepping for the corner!
Oh, this is close. This is really close. His finishing has been stunning all season, but George Whitehead's distribution.
Yeah, we just need to check if the foot wasn't in touch before the grounding.
Okay, so we don't have a foot in touch. Because I had a clear grounding.
So if you've got a clear grounding,
Yes.
then the on-field decision is 12.
Yes.
However, we just need to check.
Okay. Egan.
Christopher, I'm listening.
Okay, we've got no clear foot in touch. We have a clear grounding. The on-field decision is a try. We just want to make sure, please.
Okay, I'll get the best angle for you, Christopher, and get back to you.
Egon in 60 seconds. Our TMO today. He has great experience with these kind of finishes, being a winger himself. Made his name in the Currie Cup at Western Province.
Christopher
Where?
clearly in touch.
Put in touch.
Now try, line out.
Yep, perfect angle, great communication between the referees. Christopher Allison, and got in 60 seconds, you say. He got seconds. Well, what a winger he was. He's been a fantastic winger this season. Gershwin, where we've seen amazing finishes from him, just shows how important and how clinical Q Horn's defense had to be. A little bit of wit shown there as well.
Lions. Another
Number
successful
19
lineup.
offside.
And a penalty comes on the back of it.
Just over eager, Marco de Wit was offsides before the lineout was over. That is once the lineout leaves the jumper's hands, and it's an easy exit then. That's the kind of pressure you want, but you cannot allow it to dissipate because of not being focused. Short lineout, it's clever. Great take under pressure, that there from Dylan Schaublom. And he has a little bit of a mock, which just allows Marco de Wit to be persuaded to leave his line. He needed to just wait until he sees the ball released. And well, it's well worked from Schaublom. He's allowed his side free 40 meters.
Perfect at the line out so far, and that perfection continues. Now Chris Smith hangs one high. Chasers galore. Getting underneath it is Hafka, Henku van Wyk and Angelo Davids, causing all sorts of mayhem.
Knock on 11.
Knock on comes, scrum Griquas. Decent start for the Peacock Blues.
Yeah, it is, 100%. But if you've been watching the 2025 Carling Currie Cup, you will know you've got to give it 80 minutes. Cameron Hafke slightly overruns it here. He wants to keep us back to the opposition. That's smart, but mistimes it, and the ball is a little bit too far from him there. Good timing from Angelo Davids and co, putting pressure on Hafke. And they're pretty lucky that they weren't able to get that ball on the turnover and play it. A slight knock-on in play, allowing the Suzuki Griquas a sigh of relief. And so far, so good with their scrums. Eddie Davids doing really well against Asenati Ntlabakanye.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Can he continue to hold up under the pressure, which will increase from Ntlabakanye, prolific scrummager that he is. The Griquas now with ball in hand. Hafka sends one downfield. Great kick from Cameron Hafka.
It's a 50-22. Yeah, perfect. You could see how he held it in his hands and the angle he hits it with his boot here. Dripping with skill on this one. Take a look at that. Hits it on the nose. He's looking for a little bit of an outswing on the bounce. And that's picture perfect. Well worked. Things working really nicely for the Suzuki Griquas.
You know the people of Kimberley will be watching this match and licking their lips for the potential of breaking a 55-year drought.
55 years. Come on.
Yanku Ace. Under pressure after last week's line-out woes, the Griquas get another one right and set that rolling maul. They get past the first wave of defense from the Lions and break away now. Quickly cleared by Caleb Abrams, looking for options. Whitehead sends it to Gershwin Ware, who has it all to do. Cairns cleared away. Griquas retain possession and go again. Here's Gustav Erlang.
Advantage.
Oh, now an advantage being played to the Griquas. The first quarter of this match has belonged to the side from Kimberley.
That's knocked on. Offside, number 6.
That's the call now, Fudge. 3 points?
Well, I think it'll be really interesting to see what they choose to do. For me, they've got energy in the tank right now. They do have the Fidelity ADT lines under pressure. Jared Cairns, his penalty is clear description of that.
Okay, ball at the scope.
And as long as that man stays healthy, he's a massive part of their scrum and with their pick and goes in the trenches. The Rock, Eddie Davids, technically sound as well. He's got some experience in that front row. If they want the scrums, and you can see the pressure is building with Ntlabakanye now coming for Davids. He'll need to stay on there. His debut was against the Toyota Cheetahs quite a while ago.
Well, if he does go off the field, they've got a pretty big guy on the bench who will replace him. We walked past him in the hallways earlier on, or to be more clear, we got out of the way as he walks past us in the hallway. Only space for one man the size of Leon Lyons.
Yeah, he's massive. What, almost 2 meters tall? My goodness, he must be 130 kilos plus, Leon Lyons. But it's all about technique if you're going up against the massive Asenathi Nhlabakanye, because when it comes down to size, ain't nobody bigger than him. So Eddie Davids, he's got a long day at the office, but he'll be a very big part of them having success, especially with the set piece and keeping the crowd quiet, because it's been a good turnout here, I must say. Congratulations to the Fidelity ADT Lions faithful getting out in number. Good vibes.
Well, they say, Fudge, when you're playing a big away match, you've got to kill the crowd first, and the Griquas are going about that quite well right now.
Yeah, again, well balanced. He's been at the center of getting them in the right areas. Cameron Hufke linking up really nicely with him and joining the line as an extra player. Good decision making. Now they found themselves here and they've gone for the 5 points. Courage. Will they get the reward for their bravery? Got to be accurate.
Yankues fires it in and it's stolen away. Will that dent the confidence of the Griquas at line-out time? It remains to be seen. Eddie Davids holding up for the time being with that strapping on his leg. Let's see how he goes. Let's see how the Lions go with clearing their lines. Chris Smith slices that one.
Pressure for Chris Smith. He's been playing some excellent rugby in the last 3 rounds. Big part of their successes, Fidelity ADT Lions, and getting into this home final. But what a steal that was. Dylan Shawblom. They rolled the dice, they didn't get the reward. Shawblom, excellent steal there for the Suzuki Griquas.
Ace fires it in, this time no contest from the Lions. And the Griquas set that rolling all again.
Once.
Now they make progress, quite willingly. Just getting news that Carl Else will not be returning to the field. That's a big blow for the Griquas. He has been amazing this season, Carl Else.
He sure has. Work rate, his understanding of the game and his positional play, understands the game plan perfectly. He's always that extra player and he'll be a loss. But Marco de Wit has also had some fine form this year.
He sure has. Captained them in the SA Cup. Caleb Abraham slows it down just a moment, watching that defensive line, making sure they don't jump. And now the Griquas go again. 16 minutes down in the Carling Currie Cup final, and it's all Griquas so far. Abrams changes direction. The Lions defense holding strong against this physical onslaught from the Suzuki Griquas. Yankues back into the thick of the action. Jared Cairns being pulled off the ball. Gets off just in time to avoid a penalty advantage. Dlamini shaking off the attentions of Franco Mare. Turnover Lions. Something for the crowd to celebrate.
Yeah, Vieja Steenkamp, take a bow. Excellent work. He's been in awesome form. Big semi-final. Vieja Steenkamp, and it's the patience for me there. Understanding when to attack the ruck. Too many players are on their knees for the Suzuki Griquas, not standing up and keeping their head up. And that allowed Vieja Steenkamp to stay in the ball and get that turnover. An important one. Building the pressure, the Suzuki Griquas keeping play in the trenches, nice and tight with the tight 5, but you can see too many players off of their feet, not enough forwards there, and Vieja Steenkamp, great technique. He knows how important that one was, Mzwake Nkosi.
Plenty of feeling in that coaching box. They will feel like last year's Currie Cup final was only yesterday. Franco Mare. Feeds it in, play on as the call. Niku Stain away to Chris Smith. SJ Kotza takes them on. Penalty Lions.
That's what the Fidelity ADT Lions need to do. Just stick to the plan, keep applying that pressure. Pressure will then be on the defensive side to keep applying pressure and that accuracy. And the advantage is always in the attacking side's favor because they know where the ball is going. SJ Kotza, what an incredible semi-final he had. Gustav Erlang, great bravery, but then he just stops and it's slowing the ball down. Marco de Wit's over. Gustav Erlang has to roll out first. So many yellow cards in every one of their games. The Suzuki Griquas, discipline will be a key factor for them.
In enemy territory now. Can the Lions make it count? Movement galore at line-out time. It's played away to Franco Moreira at pace. Here's Mpeku. Mpeku beats the first. The Lions set the ruck. Stain dummies the first. They look fluid when they get the chance to attack. Wave after wave of Lions attack. Now Franco Moreira drops shoulder. Stain clearing the ball quickly. Straight hard line from Steenkamp. Here's Stain. And Klabakanye. Place as well. Slower ball this time. Stain clears. Griquas firing up off their defensive line. Zanku van Wyk. Closely watched by the Griquas and illegally trying to rip the ball on the ground.
Clear release.
Ooh. There would be no catching where in those circumstances.
You affected the delivery of the ball. You need to release.
Important interjection, Gershwin Ware. Fidelity ADT Lions had two players over there. Would have been a clear try. Fortunately, they did have the advantage. Now it's decision time for the Fidelity ADT Lions. You take the points and you go for touch. I think for them, just time to reset now. Allow momentum to just sink in a little bit. Take the points on offer. Go back to the drawing board. Let's start again. Suzuki Griquas, they'll need to remember the pressure they've been applying. Try to keep up with their defensive line. And big call here for the captain, Tebolinkosi Dlamini. Let's stay on sides. Let's not put hands in the ruck. We need to create a peacock green wall, peacock blue wall in front of the Fidelity ADT Lions, because they will build the phases. They'll keep it with their forwards. They'll try to get over the advantage line with their strong runners. There's Weapon X, Henko van Wyk. They've kept a good eye on him so far. And it's all about that pack, keeping the work rate up. And well, there's the decision. Paul going for points. Can see where the mindset is for the Fidelity ADT Lions. I think it's the right decision.
Kicks won't come much easier than this for Chris Smith. Easy meet for the number 10. 3 points on the board for the Lions. They're in the game.
Such an important competition this for the Fidelity ADT Lions as well. They're back in it. And look at the tactics here from the Suzuki Griquas, taking their time. Interesting to figure out why they're doing that. But it's 3 competitions, same squad. That's the call for the Fidelity ADT Lions. And they're just focused on the plan here, taking the points on offer. Different strategies showing early on.
George Whitehead gets us back underway. 21 minutes down in the Carling Currie Cup final. Flammo stays and hunting it on the ground. No joy for him. Here's SJ Kotze. For all the territorial success that they've had, the Griquas have just the 7 points to their name. Will they come to regret missed chances come the final whistle in this one? Clearance comes from Stain, line out Griquas.
Not getting too much distance with their clearances. We saw one go off the side of the boot from Chris Smith. So Stain won't be too happy with this distance because it's Suzuki Griquas back on the front foot. But pressure though with their line out. You can see them having a little huddle there because Dylan Shawblom's looking at the hooker and reacting really well.
Well, that one has gone horribly wrong. The jumper not even getting in the air. Ruan Venter being punished on the ground there, and that's illegal. Penalty Lions.
Players on the ground.
When it rains, it pours. The first mistake at line-out time can breed that kind of edginess from the Griquas, perhaps.
That's exactly it. Edginess. And let's take a look at who that could be. Ruan Venter. That would be a big loss for him. Hasn't been in the game that much just yet. You can bet your socks he will be in the game. Made his debut as well 3 years ago. He's been really great. Had a good season this year as well with that Bok call-up recently. Oof, yeah, just twists his knee there. He's awkward already trying to get his hands on the ball, and that's when the defense comes in. He knows it's a cringe moment that because of the player that's down.
I just think he got it wrong. All right, in law he's wrong. It's a penalty under.
So
okay.
Well, there we go. Christopher Allison explaining nicely that just the penalty, tackling the player on the ground.
Well, if there's one man you don't want to have revenge in his heart, it's Ruan Venter.
No, not at all. Not at all. And another opportunity for the Suzuki Griquas because of discipline. Lost. Fidelity ADT Lions, they've reset really nicely. They look a little bit focused. And now they'll just look to turn the screws and do exactly what they've been doing.
Cleverly taken from the Lions, and Chris Smith hangs another one high. David is after this, and he's going to get underneath it. Well taken by Dylan Mart. He has got a steady head on those shoulders. The Griquas come piling in, secure the ball. Caleb Abrahams in no rush to get this one free. Seeks out his captain, Tebu Dlamini. Caleb Abrahams, under pressure, pops one over the top. Stain juggles that one just a touch, and it gives a chance for Chris Smith to attack. Here is Kewan Horn. He sees some space to run into. A hard man to bring under your control. Kelly Mpeku's away!
Kewan Horn releases Kelly Mpeks. And it's the Fidelity ADT Lions again sticking to their guns, applying pressure in the right areas, keeping the ball alive really well. Chris Smith is the one who's away, runs a bit, then passes. Kewan Horn, difficult man to bring down with your first tackle. Once he starts drawing in players, he's got so much skill to release Kelly Mpeku. Kelly Mpeku keeps working, supports on the shoulder, gets the rightful reward.
The Lions have bided their time, and now they bite back against the Suzuki Griquas through the impeccable Kelly Mpeku. Chris Smith, the clock's gone, down to 0. Sends it soaring through the posts. 2 points on the board. The Lions lead 10-7.
Great build up here, releasing the ball, no kick chase, and Kelly Mpeku, a lovely show of pace there to get to the try line.
Just another one of those Lions Cubs making their name now in the senior side. They've got a big season ahead of them. They've got a big final ahead of them here at Ellis Park this afternoon. George Whitehead launches it long. Great chase on from Dylan Mart. He's doing brilliant work under the high ball today.
Knock on.
Knock on from the Lions. Scrum Griquas. That's what a good kick chase can bring you.
Massive, massive opportunity. You do not want the Fidelity ADT Lions at the Lions' Den to start gaining momentum. So you've got to make the restarts count. You've just had points scored against you. Force the Fidelity ADT Lions to turn into defensive mindsets. Again, Dylan Mart applying enough pressure on Ruan Venter. Slight knock on there. It looked like it went back. But obviously the referees had a little chat and it wasn't taken cleanly. So, well, can the Suzuki Griquas make this count? Lineouts not looking too good. Scrum still steady for now.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
What an opportunity for the Suzuki Griquas after we reset the scrum.
Slightly overextended there.
Move up.
It looked like it was more on the side of the Fidelity ADT Lions than the Suzuki Griquas. So Christopher Allison makes the right call. Let's shift off of the spot in case it's just a little slippery there.
Eddie the Rock Davids, he's a hard man, as his nickname may suggest. Still on the field after that early injury with his knee strapped up. Have another chance to keep this scrum alive.
Crouch!
Real problems at scrum time in the semi-final.
Bind!
Those for the Griquas.
Sit!
And now they have the pressure of Ntlabakanya, SJ Kotza, and Franco Maria to deal with. Abrams gets it away clean to Nombo Zwelendaba. Abrams fires away, and Liebenberg is next to carry for the Griquas. They've been in this position a couple of times and haven't made it pay. They go again through Gustav Erlang. Now the pick and go from Davids. Cannot get any go forward. Lions knocking them backwards. That's a good run from the Griquas to get back on the front foot. That's the kind of momentum that they thrive on. Abrams pops it up for Dirkie Pretorius. Caleb Abrams to Dylan Maart. Tries to use his footwork to create some space just a few meters out from the line now. Staying patient here, the Griquas. Inching closer, and they're held up over the line.
Going back.
Yeah, they had the penalty advantage, but I tell you what, that is an
Number
interesting
one, never onside.
stanza of play. That one against S.J. Kotza. But the call was highway. Nothing easy riding about that. You'd think easy, clear
George,
roads. That is the
Let's
gravel
stick up
road
now.
right there. That is trench warfare. Keep it with the forwards. And that's where the Fidelity ADT Lions' strength is. That's my surprise. They're doing it again, too.
Now, how about this for a surprise? Flamhorst Hazen! Oh, that's unbelievable power from the flame!
There the supporters are then. And it is Lawrence Reinhardt Oosthuizen. He's a hard man. That's Janko Ace, the hooker, who's down there. And I tell you what, built like a brick house, got so much strength. He is a wrecking ball, and for him to go straight into the guts, show strength to get over. Great technique as well here. He's not really protecting the ball, he's using his arm to push through players. Great strength in the thighs, and then the reach. No one was going to stop that kind of determination.
They are not fearful of the occasion, the Suzuki Griquas. Have been to the final before 3 years ago, and they are eager to make it good this time around. Peter Berg has led this team with aplomb all the way through this season. They've been cool, calm, and collected according to their coach. Not happy to just win the semi-final. They wanted to come here to Ellis Park and claim the gold. George Whitehead strikes it clean, puts 2 points on the board, and the Griquas take the lead, 14-10.
Electric.
Yeah, Flum Oosthuizen was just the dog who had more fight. Double hit, takes them both back. Not enough technique, not low enough, and a great reward for the Suzuki Griquas.
We're in the final 10 minutes of the first half. The Lions trail on home turf in the Carling Currie Cup final. Gustav Erlang sees the ball come popping out of his clutches. A big hit from the Lions, and they're on the front foot. Erlang looking to make up for it with a turnover. Could not affect that. The inside ball from Currie. It's a forward pass. Sweet relief for the Peacock Blues. It would have been a coach killer from Peter Berg, having just scored a try to knock it on and give the Lions a chance.
That sure would have been a sigh of relief. Taking a restart ball, so important. And for the Fidelity ADT Lions, maybe a bit loose. They needed their forward pack to take it up after this. This is a fantastic double hit. That's how to do it. Get the shoulder just below the ball, go for the legs. It's well worked. Gustav Erlang loses it with that impact, and then looks like the referees are having a slight word.
Stefan Geldenhuys was the man in the middle for the Griquas semi-final, and he had some serious work with the scrums collapsing time after time after time.
Well, I tell you what, in this game, though, we've seen a proper battle with the scrums. Both sides, technique-wise, spot on. The last scrum, the pressure, you could feel it at the middle, but it was still, you could put a tablecloth on top of that scrum. That's what you want, nice and flat and low. Both sides doing really well, besides them being overextended once or twice. Seeing a proper battle. When will it explode? That's what it feels like here.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Steyn Feeds the scrum, which is holding up well. Griquas just about to get some go forward there.
Yeah, Asanatin Tlabakanya, he's got a slight grin on his face, but he knows, hey mate, here, the Rock, Eddie Davids, has come.
Yeah.
We see the battle on this side with Tebolenkosi Dlamini against SJ Kotza. So much pressure. It's important to keep your footing, but also very difficult. It's great to see the referee, Christopher Allison, allowing that into the picture, because it was very clear to see there that Davids was the one who lost his footing with his knees going to ground first. But Christopher Allison is appreciating the pressure and technique up until that point. So no penalty to the Fidelity ADT Lions, and that's probably why.
Well, the last time the Griquas were here, they lost by 30 points, but those were under special circumstances, as we had a lightning delay for about an hour and 15 minutes. This time around, they're leading by 4 points as we've got less than 8 minutes till the halftime break. Just the kind of final everybody would have been wishing for.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Nikustain.
Guy, use it now!
Again, seeking that dominance at scrum time, but not getting it. Stain with the dummy takes it to the line. Crucial tackle that from the most recent try scorer. Steenkamp takes it to ground. Here's Stain. Ruan Venter. He'll be itching to have a bigger impact on the game. Lourens Oosthuizen comprehensively cleaned out from that ruck. The Lions inside the red zone of the Suzuki Griquas here. Here's Ntlabakanya. Quick ball for Stain. Time and again. Franco Marais feels the heat of the Griquas. Chris Smith now takes it into contact. Quick recycle time after time for Stain and Ruan Venter. Here's Franco Marais, delays his pass. Creel away to Kotza. Kieran Horn under pressure. You can see the Griquas just waiting for the Lions to increase the pace of their attack, and then they just swarm around and cause problems. Scrum Lions.
It's precisely what you want them to be doing, the Suzuki Griquas. They've got to stay nice and frosty on their toes, not be flat-footed, trying to move either forwards or giving themselves those short steps to react quickly. That's what they've done really well, the Suzuki Griquas. But, as you can see, lungs are hitting right now. So, Dylan March, he's got his eyes on Kieran Horn, but he's following the hands because he believes in Caleb Abrams making that tackle. That's what it takes to be able to defend that fourth, fifth phase rugby. And can they do it for 80 minutes is the big question.
Fudge, will they possibly be getting some butterflies in their stomach, the Lions? The Griquas staying in the hunt, being in the lead right now, having lost the final here at home in dramatic fashion to the Sharks last season.
No butterflies in the stands. That's one thing I can tell you. They need to do what they're doing in the stands. Enjoy the moment. Be locked in. Find the pressure and the excitement of being at this moment, at this beautiful stadium, just before an incredible URC season coming up. They've got an opportunity to make some history here. 10 years the last time they lifted the trophy. They need to make it count. They need to be here. Don't think too much into the future. Think of the job right now, and that job is to make sure they get this scrum and build phases to get some points from this visit 5 minutes before half-time.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Stain.
Advantage.
Feeds. This time it's a penalty advantage to the Lions. What an opportunity for the home side to strike. Creel waste no time. Diving over the line. And the pride of the Lions roars again.
That's locked in right there. Richard Creel. Slippery, a little bit slender, slips through that half gap really nicely. He's got so much skill, Richard Creel. Kind of player you'd want to play touch rugby with. Slight deception, runs into arms, not shoulders. Lovely burst of pace, dive to finish. Defense should have done much better here. Here's the first receiver from Nikustain. 2 players fall for that deception. George White is just not low enough, and he's slender and fast. Under the post, Creel.
Slicing the line wide open, Richard Creel can play all over the back line, the multi-talented number 12 today. Smith knocks it over, no problem. The Lions back in the lead, 17-14 in this ding-dong battle in the Carlin Currie Cup final.
Richard Creel takes it right onto the line. He's got some decoy runners around him. That's all he needs, a little bit of a delay, and he's right through.
Yeah.
Great play, Richard Creel.
So just for clarity, the penalty was on the other side for your tight end on the knees. Right, so that's you.
George Whitehead standing on the center spot again in this famous stadium of Ellis Park, where the history of South African World Cup victories got underway, courtesy of Joel Stratsky. George Whitehead with the 10 on his back today for the Peacock Blues. Sends it high. Fenter under pressure again. Takes it well this time. Steyn.
Use it.
Way to Q and Horn. The hunger of that Griquas defensive line. Q and Horn, who can fire it long this time, hits it with a strong angle. And the Griquas will have an attacking opportunity here in the final 3 minutes of the first half.
And you can just see Horn again, a little shake of the head, not too satisfied with that clearance. It's good possession on the pitch for the Suzuki Griquas. I mean, 2 tries apiece, 3 minutes left in this first half. It's a proper game of rugby. And now Suzuki Griquas, all pressure on the 2 number 5s, Derek Pretorius. They've got to take this line out. They've lost 2.
Over the top it goes. Oh, yeah! Nombo Zwelindaba gets a taste, but they're still in possession. Whitehead going for the drop goal. He hasn't hit that clean. It's going to go wide right of the posts.
22.
Zwelindaba just got himself put on a highlight reel.
Yeah, so this overthrow, it looked like a mistake. Great running onto it, but it's too flat. He's looking at the ball. Cold shoulders. Sit down. Oh my goodness, the 2 juggernauts. Asenati Tlabakanye,
Everyone
Ruan
needs to be
Fenter.
behind you.
He wishes it could be anyone else but them. No choice to redirect himself. George Whitehead almost gets there. Not a bad idea. They will still receive this 22 dropout.
Q and Horn goes long, very, very long, end over end. Whitehead might watch this one go dead. He won't, he'll pick it up. He's bouncing just short. Wonderful feed from Whitehead to beat Davids. Not an easy man to get away from. The ball goes as far as Q and Horn. And the Lions have the ball in the final 2 minutes. Horn will chip and chase. Well-measured kick from Horn. He gets his hands to it first. Creel tries to hack it on. It's into touch. It's Griquas' ball.
Fidelity ADT Lions will be quite happy with that turnout.
Yeah.
They've gained about, what, 40, 50 meters from that defensive play from the line out. It's great technique and timing from Fenter and Tlabakanye with that hit on Zwelindaba. So coping mechanisms working so far with the trick plays. What do they have up their sleeve this time?
Ace fires to the front of the line out for Pretorius. Successful from the Griquas. Here's Bester. He can be extremely dangerous if you let him get away. There's a penalty to the Griquas in the final minute of play. They may just have one last chance to put points on the board.
Don't go over the mark.
And Chris Smith, you can see a little uncomfortable. I think most of the Fidelity ADT line, they won't be too comfortable with this first half. For the Suzuki Griquas, 30 seconds left. They'll have the last say as well. They'll be very happy with their performance in the first 40 of this final. Zane Bester stepping up, getting past Richard Creel, fighting for the ball, not allowing Chris Smith to rip it away. And then Chris Smith positionally impossible to get out of there. Great work, Zane Bester. Good tackle fight.
Christopher Allison looking to hurry along the Griquas. Crucial line out this. Could turn the game really, trailing by 3 points as they are.
Seb, we need to speed up the lineouts.
As for that tackle from Rowan Fenter, as the old saying goes, revenge is a dish best served cold.
Sure is.
Ace feeds the line out, no contest from the Lions. The Griquas have one last chance to add to their tally here in the first half. Zwelindaba almost past the first line of defense there. Marco de Wit. In the end, he has to get it free as he was traveling backwards. Derek Pretorius, Caleb Abrahams running out of options now. He'll take it in himself. That's the 22-meter line of the Lions, within touching distance for the Griquas. Gustav Erlang running with great intent. Gershwin Weir getting involved in the rough stuff. Caleb Abrams, it's getting progressively more untidy for the Griquas. They give away the penalty in the end.
Yeah, Caleb Abrams not finding the rhythm and the flow he'd like from his forwards.
Surely cool heads will prevail here, and Chris Smith will be looking to bring the half to a close. Or is he? Indeed he is. The tap, the kick into touch. 40 minutes down in the Carling Currie Cup final, and what a match we have. 3 points separating the sides. But before we head to the halftime break, we're going to have a chance to speak to Sam Ludidi. But at halftime, it's the Lions who lead, 17 points to 14. Let's hear from Sam Ludidi.
Gustav, your thoughts on that opening 40 minutes?
Nee, ek dink ons het verwag hulle gaan fisies wees. Maar ja, ons is hier met 'n match. So ons sien uit vir die volgende 40.
All the best. I'll let you get to the team talk. All right, second half is up next.
Utter elation for Jordan Hendrickson and the Hollywood Bed Sharks.
Well, it's a Griquas team that, as Gustav Erlang said a little bit earlier, is here to front up physically, and they've done so in the first 40 minutes. 17 points to 14. The Fidelity ADT Lions lead the Suzuki Griquas in the 2025 Carling Currie Cup final. But James, Opa Mohoj still here as well, pitch side. We'll start off with you, Opa. And having spoken to Gustav Erlang as well, he's had an impressive first half and really is fronting up.
Yes, no, definitely. The forwards are really fronting up. You can see that they've made their intention very clear. They want to take the game to their forwards, and that's why you see pick and goes whenever they get to their 22. They do pick and go. They try to dominate their forwards physically. That's why they scored the try eventually at the end of the day. One try was disallowed by Gershwin Weir, where they did the exact same thing, was disallowed, and the other one was a turnover. So the intention is very clear. They want to dominate the forwards, but that was the first half. Second half, the game is going to open, and I'm sure we're going to see more tries from there.
Those pick and goes, Butch, required a lot of patience from this Griquas side, which they showed by building those phases.
Yeah, I thought, especially, Opo mentioned the Gershwin where he stepped out, scoring the one try. I thought with those pick and goes, they had gained so much momentum. They should have kept it amongst the forwards, and then I think they would have eventually strolled over under the poles. So I've been impressed with the Griquas forwards. We said before the game, if they've got any chance of winning, they're going to have to dominate the Lions pack, and they've been really good this first half. I think the Lions have fronted up now that second part of the first half. We saw some big hits there from Shlabakanye and Ruan Fenta, so they're starting to get into the game, and they're big players for the Lions. So once they get their momentum, then they make the Lions dangerous. And I thought the Lions, the two tries, the first one with the counter-attack, brilliant counter-attack by Kuhn Horn, was a little bit soft from Griquas. You know, their defense had been good up until then, and then the David Creel try as well, also a little bit soft, straight through the middle, not a hand touched on it. So I think the Lions are looking dangerous, but for me, two soft tries.
Yeah, the Lions really look like they want to play rugby when they play into the right areas. Yeah. With that try, the first try that they scored, it was a turnover. Caleb Abrams kicked the chip over the top, was gathered by the Lions, and what the Lions did, they just took the ball wide. Rugby as simple as you like it. There's always space out wide. Played hands in the inside, and there you go. Beko scores for the try.
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for them, but some costly errors at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I think Griquas put them under a lot of pressure in that first 20, and especially the opening try. They were defending so well. They eventually went for the offload that wasn't on, and yeah, with this back three of Griquas, any little chance like that, and they're going to make you pay. So this was another chance that I thought it could easily have gone into the Griquas' hands, but it didn't. And then that was also early on, David Creel. I think that created some nice space out the back, but were unable to capitalize.
Hope we're going to look at stats in just a few moments. One of the things that we spoke about, which leans into the Lions and their mistakes, was being unable to get that exit going forward and being forced to play all the rugby from their own half.
Yeah, there's also another problem. I believe that the Lions' exits are very important, and I don't think they're quite getting it right, because when Chris Smith gets an exit, then the Griquas have a line out in the 22, they get to attack again. So line out, the exits needs to be a bit better so that they can put pressure on the other side of the half.
But looking at how the first half was now, what do you think needs to be taken into account going into the second?
Yeah, I think for the Lions, they will want to play with the ball. They haven't had a lot of possession, so have the ball and also have patience, on attack. And where Griquas, I think they must keep playing the territory through George Whitehead.
Well, after the first 40 minutes, it is still quite heavily divided in terms of what is happening on the park. We had a split panel in terms of predictions after the build-up rather. Is it going to play that way in the second? Let's go find out.
Utter elation for Jordan Hendrickson and the Hollywood Bet Sharks.
Today in Gauteng, all that glitters is gold as the Carling Currie Cup is on the line. It's half-time between the Fidelity ADT Lions and the Suzuki Griquas. Peter Berg laying down the law to his players. They trail by just the 3 points at half-time. It's been a sterling effort from the side that got beaten by 30 last time they were here in round 7. As for the Lions, they'll be looking to assert their dominance on home ground here in the second half. Do you see any path to victory for the Griquas here in Mtunzi Mabeta?
Yeah, Paul Stubbs. Look, great turnout here, great environment. The Suzuki Griquas and the style of play has been really good. It silenced the crowd a little bit. 17 points to 14 in that first half. But the Suzuki Griquas gave away double the amount of penalties with 6. They have lost 2 lineouts and they've lost 1 scrum. Not too bad considering how their set pieces looked going into this game. And they'll be really happy with that result of getting 2 tries in that first half. But lineouts and converting in those areas, they'll want to do a little bit better than that. 17 points to 14 after the first half, scoring those 2 tries, not taking the points on offer, the Suzuki Griquas, the Fidelity ADT Lions did, and then not being able to score 5 meters out with that Dylan Shawblom steal. What will the coping mechanisms be in the second half? It's a fantastic game of chess on the pitch, and well, interesting as well, the strategy of the Suzuki Griquas going toe-to-toe with the forward pack of the Lions. Didn't expect that.
"40 minutes remain in the final of the Carling Currie Cup, and George Whitehead gets us underway. Ruan Venter using his frame to bump off Dylan Mart. Steyn gets it away to Kewan Horn. Franco Maria replacing regular captain PJ Porter. He's been busy today. Horn has all the time in the world to execute his clearance, and execute he does. Not into touch. Cameron Hufker sends one center field. Whitehead lining up another drop goal. He's believing in himself today, and why not here at the altitude of Ellis Park?
He's getting closer and closer. Competition's top point scorer with 78, George Whitehead, and you can see it's one of their plans. It's the second drop goal attempt for him now. In fact, I'm not sure there have been any successful drop goal attempts in this entire Carling Currie Cup.
Gone out of fashion. To employ a consultant, Nas Porter.
With so many tries, I mean, it's been fantastic entertainment, I'll put it that way.
Oh, excellent entertainment. One of the greatest entertainers have been the Suzuki Griquas, scoring tries galore, especially early on in the competition. Well taken in by Chris Smith. Niku Steyn. Away to Franco Maria. Continues his hard slog here today. Here it comes from the Lions. Scrum Griquas, just the way they would want to start the second half.
That's the second time this has happened here. Just taking his eyes off of the ball, it was Richard Creel early in the first half with a lovely pass from Ruan Venter, overlap and opportunity lost with the knock-on. This time it's Horn, who's just so dangerous with ball in hand. Handling errors 5 to just the 2 of the Suzuki Griquas. This has been one of the more outstanding stats for the Suzuki Griquas. The way they've been able to handle the ball, patience in building those phases, top-notch, especially with the ferocity and the technique in those trenches up against the Fidelity ADT Lions pack. It's been good. So have their scrums.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Abrams feeds. Gustav Erlang wastes no time, breaks from the base and takes on Chris Smith, who is smarting on the back of that one.
Hold on.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Chris Smith getting some very good treatment rapidly. You can see the golf cart already making its way onto the field. That was some intense contact.
Yeah, those looks tell the story, don't they? A little bit of shock there. It was a nasty collision, that. We'll wait for the DJ to get the vibe going here in the stadium, and just, yeah, head on the wrong side, goes low and gets contact, the head on his knee there, Gustav Erlang's knee. But it should have been the flankers who are peeling off of that scrum quicker to protect the fly-off. 100% fanometer for Angelo Davids, new recruit to the Fidelity ADT Lions, just in time for the URC. He's just been excellent. His timing on the ball, his combo with Chris Smith, it's been just stunning to watch him in a Lions jersey. This has been a part of the game that I thought has been really impressive. Via Steenkamp, his tackle fight, his timing. It's almost like he wants to find work. Via Steenkamp links up beautifully as well with his centers and his outside backs. And what a hit that was. Flam Oosthuizen, he's the wrecking ball for the Suzuki Griquas. He's done really well. So is Gustav Erlang. Here he comes now with the pick and go. Strong players who have graduated from the Varsity Cup and have been backed by Peter Berg, much to their Suzuki Griquas success.
Yeah, how the point scoring started, it was the Lions on the front foot, but the Griquas were the first side to score in the first half. Cameron Hafka running onto a ball, the perfect bounce into the breadbasket, and the Griquas scored the first 7 points of the match.
Yep, pressure pays dividends. That's what it's all about. For me, this not really the right call. It was not contestable enough. Allowed Nick Steyn to link up with Chris Smith. Great patience from Chris Smith to keep his depth. That's what allows Kuan Horn to run onto the ball at pace. Difficult man to stop, but the offload, the awareness, and the pace from Kelly Mpeku. An important try that for the Fidelity ADT Lions.
What a season he's had, the winger, but just take a look at this for power. Flam Oosthuizen taking on a couple of Lions, straight over the top of them and straight over the line. Surely Mziwake and Nkosi would have had a strong talk to his charges about that at halftime.
That's what it meant as well, not just for the Suzuki Griquas, for the fans, because that's where, for me, the core of most finals are won, in the pack. Oosthuizen just bringing the heat, and this was him. Touch rugby favorite, Richard Creel, does so well. Disguises his movement beautifully with the decoys running around him, forcing the Suzuki Griquas to delay slightly, and that's all Richard Creel needed. Vital try that, because it gave them the lead.
Oh, Cameron Hafka, part of a dangerous back three for the Griquas, yet to be fully unleashed. As the competition has wore on and the defenses have gotten stronger from these sides, the Griquas have been somewhat quelled by their opposition, and the Lions, of course, having introduced the URC players, have grown in strength towards the end of this competition and perhaps would be expecting to be leading by a heftier margin here in the final. But of course, there is no tomorrow for the Griquas. This is the end of their rugby season.
Sure is. For the Fidelity ADT Lions, they'll be looking into the URC, making sure they can stamp their place in that squad and make sure they make the match day 23. They've got a lovely squad. Mziwake Nkosi has done great work over the last couple of years, making sure that a whole 14 players from their junior ranks are in the 23 here for this final. But it doesn't matter if you don't come away with the silverware, especially when it's expected on you. The turnout has been fantastic here. Playing a decent brand of rugby, but I don't think they expected the Suzuki Griquas to come out guns blazing and still be so organized. Although they've given away 6 penalties, it's still really low considering it's a final and considering the Suzuki Griquas record. So it's, well, don't worry about a thing, I guess, at halftime for Peter Berg.
We've got a fan here in a Sharks jersey. It won't be well received by the Lions sitting around him. There it is, 30 years of your World of Champions Supersport, and we've had some unbelievable moments down the years, just in all sports, across all genres, adding channel after channel to your channel of champions.
I mean, post-ups, 30 years of champions on Supersport. How's about the Women's World Cup going into the final? Canada for making history. Our women box making history as well. It's been an incredible 30 years. The 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. And of course, Bafana looking to make it to next year's FIFA World Cup. It's just good times in South African sport.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. For Bafana to be back at a World Cup, that will be a seismic event for football in our nation. And right now, heading from the field, having been strapped down to the golf cart, it is Chris Smith. We wish him a very speedy recovery.
Yeah, he's been sensational for the Fidelity ADT Lions. He's almost been that missing piece. Puzzle looking really good with him in place. And now, all eyes on Lubabalo Dobela, who also suffered a slight concussion a month or so ago. All the pressure on him, but he adds a different sort of flavor, different vibe to this Fidelity ADT Lions, and it might be exactly the kind of rugby they need to bring rugby away from the pack. Lubabalo Dobela loves running the ball.
Sit!
Abrams feeds the Lions, looking to impose their will at scrum time here in the second half. Here's Welendaba. Mart around the corner. Not afraid of getting stuck into the thick of it is Dylan Mart.
Release!
And is rapid when he gets his chance in space on the wing as well. Eddie Davids next up.
Hands!
Griquas have not been afraid to keep it tight when they want to make some progress here this afternoon. But thus far, every time they've turned to this tactic, the Lions have held up strong.
Advantage.
They go again, and now a penalty advantage, so the tactic pays off richly. Abrams goes for Whitehead, changing direction. Now he sends it wide to Ware. He can weave magic when he has grip underneath those boots of his, this time slipping into the tackle of Mpeku. Penalty to aside from Kimberley, and now they have a choice to make, 3 points behind. What do you say, Fudge?
Offside and not rolling.
I say this is a final. You've got to take the points on offer. I mean, otherwise, what's the use of George Whitehead going for those drop goals? Perhaps they were disjointed, and a great tactical awareness as well for George Whitehead to take those drop goal opportunities, knowing that he'll receive the 22 dropout. But a change of tactics from the first half to the second half. 2 tries apiece. It's just the Chris Smith penalty conversion that's the difference. And now it'll be his opposite number. George Whitehead shouldn't make a mistake from here.
George Whitehead puts 3 points on the board, and the scores are level at Ellis Park in the Carling Currie Cup final of 2025. It's 17 points apiece, and just 5 minutes gone in the second half. Right now, we've got a chance to speak to the fans with none other than Ricky Schroeder.
Coming onto the field.
Yeah, I'm here with a very passionate Lions supporter. A little bit nervous at the moment, 17 all. How are you feeling?
I think they should just keep on playing, and they should play with full hearts and just make us proud.
I love it, full hearts. Yes. What do the Lions need to do next? There's a try going. Oh, yes! Oh! We're going back to commentary. Let's get up.
Weapon X is in the corner. What a pivotal try that may prove to be. The Lions snatch the lead right back, right away.
Yeah, wide eyes all around the stadium, not just Ricky. Henko van Beek is in. That's why you always chase your kicks. It's a kick restart. They have been a little bit dodgy under the high ball. Lovely pressure from Kelly Mpeku. Unlucky bounce of the ball, a mean one on Gershon Ware. And he's there to pick up the reward. Henko van Beek. Lovely chase. Look at the determination, the hustle from him, expecting the ball to bounce anyway. And, well, lovely work from the outside center.
Crucial try here early in the second half for the Fidelity ADT Lions. They keep on forcing the Griquas to fight back into this one. Lubabalo Dobela watches that one drift wide. 5 points for the Lions. They lead 22-17.
Yes, this Lubabalo Dobela restart. The focus keeps his head down. Lovely swing. That makes it extremely contestable for Kelly Mpeku right on the 22. Marco David can't handle it. Neither can Gershon Ware. Henko van Beek all day.
The danger of the bouncing ball in a game of rugby going against Gershon Ware. What kind of response do the Griquas have? George Whitehead gets us back underway. Dylan Mart is after this one again. Ron Fenter's getting underneath it. Mart!
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's unrealistic. He's so unlucky he knocked it on there. Excellent contest.
Well.
Yeah, I was going to say.
In the air.
Clearly, under so much pressure with all those arms and shoulders around him, Dylan Mart, eagle eye on the ball, straight into the breadbasket, and it did look like he was slightly impeded in the air, which is what the penalty's for here. But Mart under the high ball, my goodness, what's that? 4 out of 4 now.
What a player he is. What a servant to the Suzuki Griquas. He is the reigning player of the year. Once upon a time was the Currie Cup First Division Player of the Year. And now the Griquas have a chance to set the line out 5 meters out. Turn down the opportunity for 3 points there, which would have brought them to within 2. Clearly they know they need to play with intent here in the second half. Onto the field for the Griquas is Tian Langer, who was explosive in the semi-final against the Cheetahs off the bench. Successful line-out for the Griquas. Can they roll this more successfully? They've been trying time and again in this match, but the Lions have stopped them short. This time they're looking to go straight into the thick of things, right up the guts of the Lions' defensive effort. Use it once comes from referee Allison. The inside ball from Zwellendava to Mart. Mart over the line, but held up.
Try line dropout.
Yeah, Dylan Mart, he is a man possessed. Just needed to get the call from his teammates, get low, get down to ground. Very smart defense from the Fidelity ADT Lions, handling that maul and then making sure they could shift onto either Nombo, Zwellendaba, or the inside pop to Mart. Again, 5 meter line out. One of the best positions to score points, and it's gone a begging for the Griquas.
Kewan Horn with the goal line dropout. George Whitehead waiting to receive. Is he going to line up another drop goal? He is. Striking them cleaner and cleaner. Once again, it goes wide.
He's getting closer and closer as well, George Whitehead. The evergreen. He's got so much time on it here. This time gets a much more of a connection on it, but slight fade. Outside the right, upright, but he knows he's getting closer.
Dylan Mart takes it in. Here's Gustav Erlang. Just beyond the halfway line, the Griquas go again. Gershwin Ware dummies the kick. He's not going to find any gaps there. Caleb Abrams. Tian Langer. Dangerous on the run. He is a ball of energy. Pick and go from Ich Prinsloo. And here's Eddie Davids. Once again, the Griquas with the pick and go tactic, keeping it tight to the ruck. Erlang next up, making good progress with this battery of runs. Now Whitehead sends it to Bester. Bester cuts them open. Bester now flings it wide to Mart. Mart's got a tough job on his hands here. Takes on Davids. Mart bundled into touch. And the Lions faithful throw their hands in the air. This one's getting tighter and tighter. They can taste the gold now.
Oh, it's getting juicy. There's a smile from Dylan Mart.
Number 4.
I tell you what, Zane Bester, look out for him. There's that classic little lateral run from him, always looking for support. And then Dylan Mart should have actually stayed going in. Lovely defense to give him the outside and then marshal him into touch.
Hey, let's go.
Angelo Davids linking up with Kewan Horn quite nicely. But the Suzuki Griquas, they're starting to look dangerous. Game's opening up.
Replacement hooker for the Lions fires it in at line-out time. That's Mornay Brandon, and untidy though it may be, they survive Nico Steyn. Biding their time now. Cairns gets it clear. Feeds his loose head prop, SJ Kotza. Diving pass from the scrum half, Nico Steyn. Turning back the clock in this age-old competition. And Kewan Horn fires into touch.
Still taking the time with the line out, the Suzuki Griquas. They've got Darren Landsberg, who's on the pitch now. And it looks like he's on for Dylan Shawblow.
Langer feeds. Taken in by Pretorius. Whitehead feeds Erlang, sets the ruck. Abrams with the quick clearance. Whitehead now back inside to Dylan Mart, just as he thought he was in some space. The pass goes forward. Things not falling into the favor of the Griquas here in the second half as they did in the first.
It's on here. Lubabalo Tobela has bitten there onto George Whitehead. George Whitehead, he's picked out the right option. He knows it's opened up for Dylan Mart there. It's a planned piece of play. And again, just slightly overrunning it or it not getting the execution just right there. But it's George Whitehead who knows how close they're starting to get now. The game is starting to open up. It was very tight in that first half. A lot of tackles from both these sides, especially in the pack with the loose trio. Inside center and outside center would have been a big part of those tackles and the forwards keeping play, coming around the corner. We're starting to see gaps open up. It was Richard Creel snuck through a gap. Now Zane Bester for the Suzuki Griquas.
Okay, time on.
It's gripping this Carling Currie Cup final. And we're almost at the three-quarter mark, which is at 60 minutes, which is where both these sides love playing a bit of rugby. They keep it in the pack, break through the line, always have support. Should see a massive finish to this final.
Stand up, please. Just set up again.
Looks like Asenati Ntlabakanye is off the pitch as well for the Fidelity ADT Lions. It is RF Skuman who's on for him. Man from Tabazimbi, one of those youngsters coming through the ranks really nicely for the Suzuki Griquas. Prinsloo has come onto the pitch.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
The Griquas making their impact at scrum time there. Nothing coming on the back of it. Here's Hanku van Beek, popped one over the top. Hafker has that one covered. Line out to the Griquas. But before we get involved in that, let's get involved in the crowd again. Ricky, what you got for us?
Yes, I'm amidst some Griquas supporters, ma'am. I just want to know, this hairstyle for today, is it specially for the final?
Yes, especially it's bow blow for the final. So yeah, we back our boys.
Backing the boys. My brother, you look like a rugby man. What does the Griquas need to do to pull this one through?
I think the most important part is for them to just keep their composure, just stick to your game plan, and I believe you guys will pull it through for us. Great work, Griquas.
I love it, I love it. Inside here, as you can see, the supporters are getting all hyped up. Paul commentary, back to you guys.
Right back into the thick of the action. Things are moving. Here's Kelly Mpeku who fires it to Angelo Davids, who can't hold on. Pow blow, Fudge, you know what that is?
Lovely hairstyle in the stands. Of course I know what that is. Peacock blue, mate. Love spending time out in Kimberley. Kelly Mpeku, he's been really good. That's a little bit of an awkward pass. Very difficult to take it when it's behind you and over your shoulder. It's a difficult part to adjust that right arm for Angelo Davids. So he'll just take a wink to Kelly Mpeku and say, you know what you did, mate. But again, maybe just a little bit too wide. They need someone to run a short line off of him, Kelly Mpeku there, be more direct, build that phase beyond the advantage line, and then you've got a full line of attack on your right. You can see how close to the touch line they are here, but it'll be the Suzuki Griquas who are under pressure, will look to exit. We're starting to see things change a little bit now with the scrums as well. Eddie David still on the pitch, but the captain, Tebolenkosi Dlamini, off. So we're seeing a new battle here with Prinsloo against S.J. Kotza.
Crouch! Bind! Sit! Too much. Too much.
Overzealous
I can't see you tapping it.
with the engage there. It looked like S.J. Kotza did have the advantage on that initial engagement. Good bind, got into a nice area, made Prinsloo uncomfortable, then just got a little over-eager. Needed to be patient, had a good connect.
From the free kick, George Whitehead not seeking touch, sends it in field for Mar to chase, and he's there to rattle ribs as he arrives. The Griquas come piling in and give away the penalty.
It's a great counteract, but you need to stay on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Allison looking at the same thing we all were. Excellent wave. Attacking that ruck, and unfortunately just falling onto the ball, not supporting their weight with their feet. So important when you're counter-rucking to stay on your feet and keep looking up. You see here, Dobela does so well. There's that rib rattler, as you called it, Dylan Mart. What a game he's having. Perfect timing from him. And then some of the other backline players. Well, it's Derek Pretorius, in fact, who's there first. Gotta stay up on your feet. And he knows how big that moment was, the coach, Peter Berg.
Darian Landsberg on the field for the Lions, the line-out general.
Advantage,
Just being disrupted there by Derek Pretorius. Oh my goodness, that is a flattening hit there.
No advantage. Last forward in the line-out. It's fine, yellow off. Yellow off, yeah. No, it's knocked on from you. It's your jumper.
So Albert Liebenberg is great with the contest. Here's Derek Pretorius. Now, he's just not getting up enough. He's got a good read, but his supporters aren't getting him up quickly enough. Is he maybe not clenching his glutes to give them a good handle to be able to lift? I'm not sure, but he's a number 5. He's got experience. He needs to speak to his lifters, because that's 1 or 2 big opportunities that he could have taken with 2 hands. And we've seen how important those turnovers are. No points yet, really, in the second half. And 5 points separating the 2 sides. So the game getting tighter and tighter. Those moments will have a big, big effect.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Game getting tighter and tighter, the crowd getting louder and louder as their expectation builds. And now the Lions scrum get the advantage, a penalty advantage.
On your knees. Number 3 on his knees.
This may be a good time to take the 3. Make a 5-point game, an 8-point game. Dobela has ball in hand. Kieran Horn points to the corner, the captain today. Keen to drive the nail into the coffin of the Griquas. A try here could be telling.
And this is where it all comes from. SJ Kotze, he got Ich Prinsloo last time. This time he gets in, he's patient, makes his weight felt, and is just really getting him with bind and pressure from his legs. Great scrummaging from Kotze. Had a few words with the referee, clever as well. Big moment.
Landsberg uncontested, takes it clean for the Lions. They set that rolling maul. The arm is out from referee Allison. Another penalty advantage. Is this the moment when the Carling Currie Cup final turns on the Griquas? Venter fighting, and now he gets it away to Steyn. Brilliant take there from Steenkamp. That's back in field. Wrapped up by Whitehead. The Lions will recycle. They're right on the brink of it now. Angelo Davids chopped down. They reload, they go again. The artillery of the Lions, can they fire them over the line? Landsberg looking to reach. Going back for that penalty. Ratcheting up the pressure here in the second half, looking to take ownership of this final on home turf for the second time in 2 seasons.
Yeah, they can feel they're in the driver's seat now, the Fidelity ADT Lions. You can feel the Suzuki Griquas away from home. 60 minutes on the clock up now. We're into those dig deep stages, find that extra gear stages, and the way they were defending in that first half, the Suzuki Griquas, it will have an erosive effect on them. Maybe that's why the strategy here was to slow the game down. We've seen it with scrums, and we've seen it with the way they're approaching lineouts and their restarts, the Suzuki Griquas. And the crowd, I mean, it is loud and proud. For the Suzuki Griquas, they need to hold on here now with everything. Defend this, try to regain momentum, which will definitely then transcend into energy for that last 20. And those are 2 players who will be right in the thick of things. Lawrence Oosthuizen and Marco de Wit.
Grimaces on the face of them both. the two loose forwards for the Griquas, and having seen Carl Else leave the field so early in the game, they cannot afford to be without those two impactful players. Pumzile Matbandwana on the bench in the 20 jersey, played 43 times for the Pumas, would be the one to replace if either needs to leave the field, but they stay strong for now.
You're very soft,
huge line out, huge moment in the match here for the Fidelity ADT Lions. Complaints coming from Ruan Delport, another penalty to the Lions. And a bit of a chat is going to be had by referee Allison.
Is Seb still on? Who's captain? Okay, that's 2 infringements at the mall. Okay. All right, so we need to up the discipline. If this continues, you might find someone in the bin. All right.
It's very difficult when you go over the 5.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can't jump across. Okay, cool. Penalty.
Okay, good words there.
Jumping
They've had
across.
a yellow card, I think, in almost every single game. In some games, up to 3 or 4. So the Suzuki Griquas, they've done really well so far. They'll want to, and they would have been prepared for this with Peterberg as well. The discipline has been really good so far, considering just 12 penalties, but they can't get up to that 15 penalties mark, especially not now.
Well.
Excellent, excellent work. That's what a contesting lock needs to do. Keep your eyes on the hooker. If they are in 2 minds, watch him. So if you go up and he's had any movement with the throw, you're allowed to go up. So great short arm, get out of jail free.
Different bounce on that ball, and it would have been the most phenomenal of 50-22s from George Whitehead, who's underneath the high ball here. Can't take it clean under the attentions of Angelo Davids. Good physical stuff from Derek Pretorius to hold on to possession for the Griquas, who are feeling the heat now.
No!
In the final 20 minutes, they trail by 5. The Lions turn down the chance of a penalty there, time and time again. How will it translate come the end of this match? Caleb Abrahams gets tackled by a player who was not back the 10 meters, and he taps and goes. Abrahams is going straight up the center now. Nikustain with an interception, brilliant play from the Lions number 9, and now Angelo Davids on the outside, well covered by some quick players. Fires back, a hope and a prayer on the inside, and turns over possession. Well, let's hope for his sake we don't cut cameras to the coaching box right now, because they will be tearing their hair out. Nombos Wellandaba sends it to Bester. We've seen precious little of the outside center for the Griquas today. Now on the outside, the magic man Gershwin Ware hangs one up to the infield. Dobella's watching this one. Ware's putting on the pressure. He's all on his own though. Kelly Mpeku has time and space. Weighs up his options, sends it central. A tactical kick. It's been allowed to bounce by Hafka. Bounces kindly and he finds Whitehead, who'll switch onto the left boot. Hits it flat and hits it long. What a kick from Whitehead.
Yeah, they've got to take it quickly here. Great move from Lubabalo Dobela. They're under a little bit of pressure with their line out.
Outside,
and Kewan Horn clears the lines on the back of that quick throw. Well, this game has become fast and loose all of a sudden. And the chip over the top will be easily fielded by the Lions. Nikustain under pressure.
Rock now.
And finally, the Lions slow it down just a touch. Weapon X clears from the base. Here's S.J. Kotze.
No, Flam, no! Use it, 9!
Cool, calm tactics here from Nikustain. He's going to send one high for Mpeku to chase. Oh, that's a brilliant take from George Whitehead. Not usually his forte. Here is Tian Langer. He is irrepressible. Caleb Abrahams gets it away to Whitehead, who continues to run the show. Hafka, Bester, no space to work with for Dylan Mart. Passes to himself. That's how talented he is. Here's Cameron Hafka. Here's Caleb Abrahams now. George Whitehead. Most positive piece of play in the second half here from the Griquas. Can they keep this momentum alive? They've got some space to work with on the outside. Oosthuizen links up with Whitehead again. Whitehead, he has Ware in support. Gershwin Ware tries to fire it back in field.
Knock on from Green.
Lions ball.
Take a breath, everybody. It's time for razzle dazzle. Yep, we're beyond the 60-minute mark, and that's the character, that's the traditional way both these sides have played and throughout the Carling Currie Cup of 2025. Lovely way to keep the ball alive. Quickest ball is no ruck ball. And Gershwin, well, I tell you what, mate, they're on to you with your little goose step. They've been watching it all week. Hasn't been working that well for the magic man, Gershwin. And they're going coast to coast. George Whitehead, incredible work rate. His positional play has been perfect this afternoon. Got some good support from Gershwin and Dylan Mart. The problem is, whenever that happens, Nombos Welindabo, Zane Bester just aren't there to run it short and give him options off his shoulder. We saw Dylan Mart almost being put through the hole on that short inside line. I think for the Suzuki Griquas, you want to see more of that. And definitely more taping as well on that man. Very important for them, Lawrence Oosthuizen. And Renzo Duplessis, well, that is the answer for Mzwake Nkosi and the Fidelity ADT Lions. What an answer to have. Always causes problems, especially when coming off the bench. Renzo Duplessis loves this kind of a game, like all the fans, young and old. Very entertaining, throwing the ball around both sides. And you can see the scrum halves, Nico Steyn and Caleb Abrahams. That's saying, you want to play us with tempo? That's exactly how we like to play. We'll increase the tempo too.
Caleb Abrahams taking great initiative with those 2 taps. Really laying down the laws. The Griquas need to attack this match in the second half if they want to come away with victory. Coming onto the field is Renzo Duplessis, the finest player in the Carling Currie Cup last season. What a player to bring off the bench to up the tempo.
Yeah, he sure is. He loves this kind of rugby where the wingers are seeing a lot of the ball. He links up with his outside centre and wingers really well, Renzo Duplessis. And it'll be well, Vieja Steenkamp, who good substitute as well. Vieja Steenkamp plays more of a tight game, and he's had another very good performance here for the Fidelity ADT Lions, 8th man.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Steyn feeds. Great contest at scrum time all the way through the match here today. Creel takes it to the line. Steyn clears.
There it is. There it is.
It's a great setup for an exit from the lines, making meters galore.
Use it 9!
And now Nico Steyn has the chance to hang another ball high for Mpeku to chase. Ware looking to measure it up.
No knock.
Well, no knock, and then Renzo Duplessis just couldn't hold on. It's going to be a scrum to the Griquas.
And you've got to wonder if the coaches are going to ask for them to slow it down. Don't get caught in the trap here. Great contest. Both those players really efficient under the high ball. Kelly Mpeku and Gershwin Ware. And it's there for Renzo Duplessis. So good at picking up the scraps and making something out of nothing, Renzo Duplessis. That time, gets a little ahead of himself and knocks it on. But what's in his mind now? Do we slow it down, keep things simple? We've got a 5-point lead. We've got under 15 minutes left on the clock. The problem with that, if you're complacent, that man, Peter Berg, he'll pounce on those opportunities and expect you to not be as frosty, as alert. That's when the Suzuki Griquas can strike, as we've seen throughout the season.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Another solid set at scrum time. Caleb Abrahams waiting for some progress for the Griquas, and he gets just that. This match remains in the balance. Gershwin Ware getting upended as he tried to grab that one through. Penalty Griquas. Now, last season, there was a tactical error made by the Lions, which just opened the door for the Sharks at the very last moment. They got a penalty about 60 meters out. You wouldn't expect for that to equal 3 points, but when Jordan Hendrickse, former Lions player, is on the field, it can, and it did on that occasion, snatching victory from the clutches of defeat for the Sharks.
Yeah, what an incredible final it was last year. Set piece here. It's excellent work on that far side from Leon Lyons and the powerful Tian Langa. Just loading their weight. Getting that penalty. And well, it's got to be now for the Suzuki Griquas. Big opportunity just inside the 22.
Tian Lange feeds the line out, well executed and taken in by the leadership of Liebenberg. Stepped into that role after Tebu Dlamini left the field. He's been the captain of this Griquas side all season. Abrams finally gets it from his forwards. Zwellendaba hits it up. Abrams fires it to Marco de Wit. Solid hit on Marco de Wit. Now it's Juan Skuman. Or rather, it's Leon Lyons for the Griquas. Caleb Abrams gets it away to Lange. They slow it down when they keep it tight to these rucks to the Griquas, but they have made progress on a couple of occasions. But can they make it count on this one? The Lions turning down those 3 points has left this match in the balance as we're in the final 12 minutes now. Gustav Erlang, pick and go from the Griquas, keeping it real simple. Getting involved in the rough stuff. Here's Tian Lange again. Now he must be released. Has that Lions player supported his body weight? The answer to that is no.
Proper bravery from Nico Steyn, but there was no clear release.
By not releasing.
And Christopher Allison was right there on the spot. It did look like Nico Steyn was supporting his weight really nicely, but no clear release first.
Time off.
And yeah, he knows. He'll be a little bit bewildered. Come on, mate, I'm a scrum half. I was in the trenches. I did the right thing. Give me the reward. Nope, got to listen to the referee, and he's very clear and vocal here. He's in the tackle, no clear release. Not happy with the daylight from the tackle to going down to the ball, and slight margins in that area. Nico Steyn can be happy with that effort. It's just that with those 50-50s, can go either way.
Onto the field for the Lions now, Juan Skuman, 64 caps for Bath, in among his travels all around the world. Plants the ball on the ground. They've thrown down the gauntlet here, the Suzuki Griquas. Tian Lange carries it into the teeth of the Lions defense, looking to get a bit inventive with that ball. Gustav Erlang feels the brunt of the Lions defense. Not interested in moving this away from the rack. Now Oosthuizen protecting. Will he go for the pick and go? Another advantage to the Griquas.
You knocked it on there. There's an offside against number 20.
They are living on the edge, the Lions. Living right on the edge. In this nail-biting Carling Currie Cup final. Will the Griquas tap and go again? No, they're going to go for the line out.
Great adjustments for them again. It's Renzo Duplessis on the wrong side of the call from the referee. Slight knock-on, this time for being a little over-eager and offsides. They would have practiced it all week, and with the way that the Suzuki Griquas are playing, gloves off, let's go toe-to-toe. You've got to make sure your pillars are accurate.
Lange feeds, no contest on Derek Pretorius. That's a good formation of the rolling maul for the Griquas, but can they achieve any go forward here? Lange stays tucked in. Creaking forward, Zwellendaba tries to lend his weight to the cause. Use it call comes from Chris Allison. Lange sets the ruck. Abrams at the thought of going wide, thinks again and keeps it tight. Marco de Wit. Cairns can't get his hands on the ball. And the Griquas go again. Wearing out the shoulders of the Lions here in the final 10 minutes of the final.
No.
Lange. He'll have another go. He'll go and go and go again.
It'll come. It'll come.
Compromised body position for Lange. Still going to come back on the side of the Griquas. Caleb Abrams gets it clear. Leon Lyons absorbs the hits from the Lions. Hands on the ball, Marco de Wit. He's next up to the challenge, and the Lions meet that challenge head on. Cannot get it down clean. It's going to be a scrum to the Griquas.
That's not on your own plays. That's a tackle.
Unplayable.
Give you the scrum.
You can just hear there's a hush that's fallen here on Ellis Park. Nerves all through the crowd.
I mean, whose body isn't tingling watching that? Really, it gives me goosebumps to think the Suzuki Griquas will say, you know what, guys, we're going to take the road less traveled. We're going to go bushwhacking. We're going to pick and go up against the Fidelity ADT Lions that in that part of the game would have had more experience against stronger, harder competition. And the Suzuki Griquas have come here and have asked good questions of that part of the game. They've gone right for the soul of the Fidelity ADT Lions. And although they have a 5-point buffer, man, my goodness, This is great technique in contact, great rucking. They've come very well prepared for this type of rugby, the Suzuki Griquas. And again, tip of the hat to the conditioning team who's been able to work on these players who have been involved in almost every single game throughout the Currie Cup. I don't know what that said, but I tell you what wasn't done overnight, this kind of a performance by the Suzuki Griquas pack.
A nervous crowd here in Gauteng, but a joyful crowd all the same. They love their rugby here at the Lions. And in their heyday, when they won their last Currie Cup in 2015, they played an expansive running game, the likes of which Renzo du Plessis would have loved to be involved in. Never mind, Hashim Peet was also on the bench for them, and Reinhard Jonker. But right now, the Griquas are playing the opposite type of game. As you said, bushwhacking. They've pulled out the panga, and they are slashing away.
Tense stuff, so tense. So important to think of your technique and stay locked in.
Bind! Sit!
It's crunch time in the Carling Currie Cup. Gustav Erlang carries the cause forward for the Griquas. Abrams switches from right to left. The Lions surely can't afford to give away any more cheap penalties in this position, lest they be punished by Christopher Allison. Another penalty advantage has come. 8 minutes remain. There's a double blast on the whistle. Should be just a chat here. Should be just a chat.
So you've got multiple players going offside. Okay. Yes, the next one might go to the bin. Yeah, time's off.
Can you feel the silence here in Ellis Park this evening? The sun is setting on Gauteng, but is it setting on the chances of the Lions to lift that Carling Currie Cup after the bitter disappointment of last season? Kewan Horn, the captain today, a big weight on his young shoulders.
There's been so much action all around the pitch as well. It'll be, well, a head scratcher to try to figure out who the champion of the match will be here.
Tiaan Langer once again ready to carry it in to that uncompromising Lions defense. Gustav Erlang puts his head down. Look how close they are now. Marco de Vet, he may have gotten over the line there. Christopher Allison scratching the back of his head. It's nervous for everyone on the field right now. Langer's next up, and he will give it a good old go. Langer stopped short, positions his body well, presents it for Abrams, who sends it wide! Oh, there it is! It's a stunning score for Zwellendama! The Peacock Blues are waving their flags at Ellis Park with the time running down. Zwellendama strikes fear into the heart of the Lions and their fans. What a final we are witnessing here today.
Excellent patience, building it up, and then when they went wide, a man who has been chipping away at the defensive wall all afternoon, Nombo Zwellendama. There was no stopping him from there.
Goosebumps moment here for any fan of the Suzuki Griquas. George Whitehead, the general who's seen it all in this game, strikes it clean and strikes it straight and true. He puts the Griquas into the lead. It's 24-22.
Great work by the pack. Look at all of them bundled in the trench, making sure that they protect the ball and keep recycling. That's the patience. And when the moment comes, when there are no forwards left, Nombo Zwellendama stands up. Suzuki Griquas well deserved. That's finals rugby.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Nombo Zwellendama is him on this occasion. There's 6 minutes to play in the Carling Currie Cup final. And the Lions have 2 points to claw back. Mpeku's after this one. Dobela, who sends it high. Marco de Vet, crunched in the hit, manages to present it well.
Use it.
Taking his time, Thomas Bursey, replacement halfback, on for the Griquas. Whitehead sends it long. I'm telling you, you can feel the hearts trembling here at Ellis Park today. No more Mexican waves. No more noise from the MC. Everybody has got their hearts in their mouths.
Imagine Kimberley right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 55 years of history, so Plaatje into the Varsity Shield this year. What a year for the Kimberley in terms of rugby.
Tension rising. It takes just one score from the Lions to snatch back the lead, and they're in position for that right now. Any penalty here would be kickable. Landsberg, Steyn for Dobella. The eagerness of the crowd trying to urge their team forward. Jonker off the bench and into the defense. Here's Renzo du Plessis, brought down by Dylan Mart. Steyn, quick ball for Dobella. Rohan Venter, they have to be brave now, the Lions, and this is their style of play. Clearing quickly from the base, sending it to the back line time and again. Dobella dragged down in the tackle. Presents well, and Steyn sent it to Jonker. Whitehead stands up in the tackle. Here's Steyn again. Big upright hit there from Liebenberg. Really needs to drop the body. Put himself in danger of giving away a penalty.
right,
Brandon took it in.
so.
Henku van Beek delays the ball brilliantly. Kelly Mpeku has Renzo du Plessis. Angelo David!
Oh, what a hit! Woo!
It's touched him.
Was that Dylan Mart? It was. Oh, what a performance from him, defensively and on attack. Dylan Mart, take a bow.
Give me the heart of Dylan Mart. This man is made of steel.
That's a good build-up here. Great decoy run there, and then Henko van Beek does so well to find Kelly Mpeku. Lovely hands from Renzo du Plessis, but this hit right here, that's a career-defining hit from Dylan Mart. Career-defining game for the winger. There's the celebration. Oh my goodness.
Feel it! Woo! This is the Carling Currie Cup. This is what it's about. This is a team that believes in this competition as well. The be-all and end-all for the Suzuki Griquas. They are fighting for their lives.
I mean, Dylan Mart, how he's able to execute that tackle. He's never in two minds. He knows exactly who he's going for, and he needs to get there quickly. We know how good Angelo Davids is with his feet and his pace, but because he closes that gate so quickly, times that tackle to perfection right in the corner. If he chooses to go a little bit late or a little bit earlier, he could have gotten stepped. That's just excellent work from Mart.
Oh, the palpable tension inside of Ellis Park right now in this storied stadium where the Griquas writing a story of their own. Huge line out this. Oh, brilliantly executed. Liebenberg, the leader, rising high.
Okay.
Thomas Bursey clears it away. They cannot afford to make any mistakes in this position, that's for sure. Gustav Erlang continues to exercise that engine. George Whitehead goes long. Lions line out. Less than 4 minutes to play. It's on the line again at Ellis Park for the second year running.
Yeah, we've seen an awesome contest as well with the lineouts. Derek Pretorius has gone close quite a few times. All eyes on that man, Darren Landsberg now.
Well, the Lions win it at line-out time, and Jonker takes it to the line. Rohan Venter living on the edge there. George Whitehead complaining, nothing coming of it. Here's Renzo du Plessis. Niku Steyn. Quick clearing, rapid play that the Lions are known for.
Could we see a drop goal perhaps here?
Well, wow. Do not threaten me with a good time. The Lions come again. And they set the ruck. Here's Steyn. The dummy comes from Rohan Delpoort. An advantage to the Lions. Whoa, whoa! There's only one call to make here, Mtunzi. Only one call.
Yeah, no choices here.
21, offside.
We'll have to see
offside,
from where
21.
the mark is exactly. And, well, Lubabalo Dobela will take a slow walk to him because that's not an easy one from that position. He is right-footed, so he does have that advantage at least. With the uprights to his right, not to his left on the other side of the pitch. But this is how the penalty comes here. This quick ball that they're generating quickly. Unfortunately, it's Thomas Bursey who doesn't get into line quickly enough. That's why it's so important to try and generate that quick ball. It applies pressure on the defensive line to get back and keep refolding and reloading. And great awareness from Christopher Allison to award that phase play from the Fidelity ADT Lions.
Indeed. He's been excellent today as Christopher Allison. But right now, it's all about this right here. Lubabalo Dobela sends this place into rapture. A seismic score for Dobela. 3 points on the board, and the Lions snatch the lead back.
Edge of your seat stuff is an understatement. All going down to the wire here. Accuracy is key.
Whitehead sends it high. The time is now for anyone that wants to step up and be the hero for either side. The Griquas will have the feed to the line out. We're in the final minute of the final.
Yeah, what a kick this is. Head down, sweeping through with the boots, nice and low, gives it power. It was swirling through the air, and he got it. Look at the celebrations. Stunning stuff at Ellis Park.
They were buried by a long-range penalty in last season's Currie Cup final. This time, have they put the final nail in the coffin? Langa feeds the line out. Great contest from the Lions, but Langa gets back on the ball. One last chance for the side from Kimberley to write their names into legend. 55 long years since they lifted the Currie Cup. 3 years since they attended the final. Just about staying in field there. Pumzile Makondwana takes it into contact. The hooter sounds in the background. No mistakes now can be accepted for the Griquas. Tom Nell, who's off the bench, carries it in. Of course, remember, a penalty would do it. 1 point separates the sides. Makondwana is there again. Cairns can't see the opportunity, make sure not to give away the penalty. They cannot afford for any penalty advantage here.
Use it!
Use it is the call. The Griquas keep their wits about them, and once more they go crushing it up next to the ruck. And they go and go and go again. Calm heads needed, control needed, and of course execution as well. Markudovic, oh, desperation. Percy gets it away somehow, some way. Here's Hafka. Dragged out. Lions in over the ball! That is the sweet taste of victory! That is the magic of the Currie Cup!
Hold on.
Oh, there's some drama here, Paul Stubbs. There's some drama here, Paul Stubbs. Double whistle from Christopher Allison. Let's hear here, mate.
Christopher.
All right. I just want to clear if there wasn't a ball slapped out of the hands there before that breakaway by 15.
Okay, so we're looking for deliberate knockdown from the white player.
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring up the best footage for you.
Thanks.
Here comes the first angle, Christopher.
Watching
so
for a deliberate
actions
knockdown.
of number 5 white.
Okay. That's slapped down.
Yes.
No, that's a cynical offence against number 5.
Number 5 white, yes.
Captain.
Oh my goodness. Ruan Delport.
You get them. Let me explain what we did. All right, so there was a penalty there for holding on. I just wanted to clear where there wasn't even any foul play over here. There's a clear slap by number 5. There's a clear slap by number 5. All right, so it's going to be a penalty. That's the first infringement against number 5.
If he goes for the ball, Mr. Ref,
there's a difference if he goes for the ball and a clear slap. I saw a clear slap. Yeah.
Can you believe it?
George, are you taking the shot?
Can you feel it?
I can't believe it. I can feel it. Oh my goodness. And George Whitehead off the boot. I mean, look, no pressure. He's probably one of the best kickers in the competition. Stats will tell you that. Top point scorer. Just a lapse of concentration from Ruan Delport tapping it down. Eagle eye from the refereeing team. It is justice. 4 out of 4. My goodness.
Pop your eyes back in their sockets. Pick your jaws up off the floor. 133 years of Carling Currie Cup history. George Whitehead to write his name into legend! It's absolutely unbelievable! It's riveting! It's raucous! It is glorious from the Suzuki Griquas! They are the champions of the Currie Cup! 55 years of waiting, and they lift it here in Johannesburg under glorious circumstances. Gauteng is stunned again. This is the magic. This is the mythical Carling Currie Cup, and this is what it can deliver. Raw emotion, pure passion. It is absolutely beautiful. It is glorious to behold. The Suzuki Griquas refused to be extinguished here today until the last, and after the hooter, they continue to fight for the gold, and George Whitehead puts it on his boot, raises his arms, and sends Kimberley into rapture. Get me to the Diamond City. Oh, Fudge, we say it's a privilege, but sometimes it's something beyond that. Oh, it is transcendent.
It's a fantasy. It's unrealistic. George Whitehead, if there was ever a player deserving of it, it's him. The entire nation will have tears in their eyes. 55 years in the waiting, as you mentioned. But for me, it's the way they did it. They know how hard it was. They took the hard route. Let's go toe-to-toe with the lighter pack, with the more inexperienced pack. And they went for them. My goodness, a courageous performance. I was going to say, whichever side wins, either the Lions with their defensive standards of play or the Suzuki Griquas going into the guts with the way they played. That's what this game is all about. That's rugby for you right there. Peter Berg, George Whitehead, take a bow. They came here with a plan. They caught the Fidelity ADT Lions at the Lions' Den. A little bit surprised, but what an incredible game of rugby. What a celebration of Carling Currie Cup rugby. What a 2025 season. Don't worry, Ron Delport. It happens to the best of us. Just a slight moment. It could have gone either way. What a privilege. Yes, indeed, a pleasure, but an honor to have been involved in this Carling Currie Cup final. Asenati Ntlabakanye came back. A couple of Springboks in this Fidelity ADT Lions side. The Suzuki Griquas, all about that history. My goodness.
They never back down. What a season from the Griquas. Remember, round 7, 37 points to 7, they went down. If you read any of the press in this week leading up to this match, they were written off from pillar to post. Left, right, and center, nobody gave this team a hope of coming to Ellis Park and knocking over the Lions with a side packed with URC players. They did it without Malembe and Pofu. They lost Carl Else early on, but they just continued on their path with tactics brilliantly constructed by Peter Berg. He is writing his name into legend in this country's rugby as well. But spare a thought for the Lions, losing in dramatic fashion for a second straight season in the Carling Currie Cup final. Hashim P, the young world champion in under-20 level, has got a bright future ahead of him, and he'll be looking forward to a URC season. But as we've mentioned many times, there is no tomorrow for the Griquas. This is the end of their season. This is the trophy that they seek, and they get their hands on it for the first time in 55 years. The Peacock Blues explode into a kaleidoscope of color. They win 27-25.
Our Carling champion of the match is going to have his medal handed over to him by Kwesi Vika, who's the Black Label Marketing Manager, goes to Suzuki Griquas, Gustav Erlang. Gus, 40 minutes ago, you and I stood on the halfway line and we spoke about what the plan was after the first half. Said you wanted to front up physically, you've done more than that.
Ja, ek dink eerstens net dankie vir ons Vader in die hemel vir die voorreg om hier te wees. En ja, ek dink ek moet alle eer aan die bootjies gee. Hulle het regtig gebring die laaste 40 minute en dankie vir die Lions. Hulle het ons laat werk vir dit.
Let's talk about what you're feeling. I can tell there's a big smile on your face. You said to me just now, give me a second to catch my breath.
Ja, nee, ek dink dit is 'n helse voorreg om hier te wees, om deel te wees van die kampioenskap en om die koppie te lig. Ek kan nie verduidelik die voorreg wat dit is en die geleentheid wat dit vir ons bied nie.
and then you get to take it back to Kimberley.
Ja, nee, dit gaan lekker wees.
Congratulations on a great performance.
Dankie julle, dankie vir almal wat hier is en dankie vir al die ondersteuners. Liefde.
Well, don't go anywhere, because in a couple of moments we're going to be heading over to our presentation.
Utter elation for Jordan Hendrickson and the Hollywood Bet Sharks.
In your wildest imagination, did you ever dream of it finishing like this? Again, for a second year running. They didn't, I can tell you that much. The people of Kimberley, with their hearts in their mouths, oh, they exploded into joy. And the joy will last a long time. 55 years of waiting are over. The Carling Currie Cup is going back to Kimberley. The side that originally received it from the British and Irish Lions hold it again, and hold it in dramatic fashion. Oh, Peter Berg, the emotion of this man who's seen it all in this game. George Whitehead has seen just as much, and it was his boot that gained glory for the Griquas here in Gauteng on this wonderful young evening. And the two embrace. They have seen it all together. They've been on this journey. Caleb Abrahams was feeling every moment of that. They are your Carling Currie Cup champions of 2025, and Fudge, they deserve it. They richly deserve it.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, there it is, right? Last won the Carling Currie Cup in 1970. Couple of youngsters like Zane Bester in this side. Always the underdogs, the smaller sides. We've heard what Jimmy Stonas has said about the ailing Pumas. Peter Berg, a young coach here with the Suzuki Griquas, incredible. Couple of goals not taken by the Fidelity ADT Lions. Couple of calls here and there, 50-50s, that could have gone either way. But it's not about that. It's about the celebration of rugby and this incredible season, 2025 season of the Carling Currie Cup.
Well, the festivities are about to begin. We're going down to the field where Sam Ludidi will take it away.
Well, good afternoon to you, and what an incredible afternoon of rugby we have just had, with the Suzuki Griquas doing one over, undoing what has been a very, very long wait to get their hands on this coveted Carling Currie Cup trophy, the oldest domestic rugby competition in the world. Our dignitaries that are with us today for this presentation: Mr. Mark Alexander, who is the South African Rugby President. We've also got Mr. Francois Davids, the South African Rugby Vice President, and Mr. Altman Arles, who's the Chairman and the owner of the Lions Rugby Company, Mr. Neville Jardine, who's the President of the Golden Lions Rugby Company, Monty Engelbrecht, who's the President of the Griquas Rugby Union, and then we've also got Ms. Karen Greenleaf, who's the Brand Director of Carling Black Label, with us here today. Before we get to our players for this afternoon, who have thrilled us with a wonderful game of rugby, the gentlemen who were in charge in making sure that we got to that 80 minutes, our team of officials for today.
What a job they did today under tremendous pressure. Egan Seconds, not the first time he's made a massive call at an end of a rugby match. In fact, we were there a couple of years back in Stellenbosch when he made a consequential call as Turks knocked over the Marties to gain glory in that competition. And today, perhaps even more seismic. This is good for the game of rugby in South Africa, it must be said. You feel for those players right there and for the coaching staff, but the Griquas really have brought glory to the game.
We're now going to ask for our would-be silver medalists, if you will, the Fidelity ADT Lions, and our second place for the 2025 Carling Currie Cup, to come and receive their mugs.
Fudge, the feelings, I mean, they can't be described. 2 seasons in a row, 2 penalties after the hooter, and they're a young team that are growing. You feel like they deserve more, and they may gain more in the future if they can stay together.
Yeah, Paul, exactly that. You know, I think, of course, everyone wants the silverware. They know, a lot of these players know, they are just on the verge of becoming Springboks. Kieran Horn, one of those players. And for me, it's not about losing here. Yes, winning is important, but for me, it's all about the journey. They've been building this team. They've had some incredible wins in terms of the under-21s and under-19s over the last half a decade, maybe even longer. And those players have come up now to the fray. They will look a little bit better this year than they did last year in the URC. Next year, it'll be even better. But you've got to congratulate a side of almost winning a Carling Currie Cup final 2 years in a row. Yes, you never want to be the silver medal in those stats, but the way they've done it, they deserve to win 2 Carling Currie Cups back-to-back, some could say, but it's heartbreak, and that's the beauty of this game, is that although there's heartbreak and you put your body on the line, and it's extremely spiritual for a lot of these players, you've also got to look at the bigger picture. Just like President of the Lions Rugby Union, Mr. Yardeen, will be telling them, it's about this massive win for rugby in this area. The club rugby going from strength to strength. A couple of youngsters like Tabazimbi Skuman getting an opportunity, and a couple of other players going from strength to strength. I think the URC, this will add some fire to their campaign. And Kewan Horn, another one of those leaders in the backline, vice captain today, Asenati Ntlabakanye, getting the chance. It's been a stunning year for them.
A stunning year, and that young man stepping into the role of captain right at the death, Kewan Horn.
Kewan, not the 80 minutes that you would have wanted, particularly given Luabalo's penalty kick as well at the back end. Talk me through it.
Yeah, first of all glory goes to God for the challenge He gave us, and yeah, thanks to the crowd that came out and support us. We really appreciate it, guys. And, yeah, just on your question, our discipline was the biggest work on. I think we gave them too many opportunities on 22, and they executed on that.
Let's look at the campaign as a whole. Quietly went about your business until right at the very back end, where you muscled your way into this home final.
Yeah, we did have some ups and downs during the season, but yeah, we made it to the final. Once again, we came up short, but we'll definitely go back to the drawing board for the URC season and work from there.
Congratulations on what was an incredible season, unlike you had the last hurdle.
Thank you very much.
We're now going to ask our 2025 Carling Currie Cup winners, the Suzuki Griquas, to come along and collect their mugs.
They've got their caps on. Their champions' caps. Caps that they did not wear in 2022, when on home turf they had their hearts broken by the Airlink Pumas in a dramatic final, which also wrote history. But here today, after 3 years of waiting and 55 years since they last lifted the cup, they've turned things around. And what was looking to be an ill-fated final turned on its head in the space of a few seconds on the back of a call from the TMO. And they had the chance to knock it over the posts. What a season, what a story for this Griquas side.
Yeah, let everyone just take a breath quickly. Yep, back to reality. And yes, indeed, it is a fantasy. Incredible, you know, for these players, especially the forward pack, for them to be able to come out with a performance like that. It's beyond what you are physically capable of. They've done it all season, going down 37-7 to the Fidelity ADT Lions the last time they met, and then coming away from home here at Ellis Park, having the right message from Peter Berg that we didn't want a home semi-final so we could make the final. We wanted a home semi-final so we could make the final and go win it. And it felt that way, didn't it, from the first whistle this afternoon. No specialist locks on the bench. Pumzile Makondwana had to be there. Nombo Zwelendaba with the match-winning try. Incredible work from him, shifting from outside center to inside center. Zane Bester was amazing. That man, look out for him. I'm telling you, he's got a huge career coming up. Lawrence Oosthuizen, they call him Flum. He's great, and then a great leadership from Tebolenkosi Dlamini, who enjoyed his 50th cap this season. Just a special group of players and coaching, and special for the country, this win.
Their names will be engraved onto the trophy of this famous competition. 133 years of its history, coming to another culmination here in Gauteng at this famous Ellis Park Stadium. Years ago they sowed this wind, and now they will reap the whirlwind. A whirlwind of glory, a whirlwind of gold, and George Whitehead sent them to that place. There's their captain, Tebo Dlamini.
What a moment, what a leader. Remember, they were part of some of the first ever Carling Currie Cups, and for them to get it here now, 55 years after the last time they've lifted the cup, it's just incredible for this country and for the competition. What an incredible 2025 season of the Carling Currie Cup, one that will go down in the books.
What a harvest this is for the Suzuki Griquas. They have earned this in blood and bruises. It's a squad effort. The man they call Big D is going to lift the trophy. Not the captain for the SA Cup. He has stepped up to the captaincy for the Currie Cup now, and he will never be forgotten in Kimberley after this day, this glorious day. What a team, what a squad, what a moment. They've dreamed the dream. They've ascended to the very top of the Carling Currie Cup game. And now Nkosi Dlamini is shaking hands with the dignitaries as he makes his way to his team, and there it is. That cup which legends have lifted is now going back to Kimberley, where it first resided. And what a trophy it is. What a day it is. What a kinship these men have between each other. The gravitas of the Carling Currie Cup is back in the hands of those from Kimberley.
Well, some 55 years, over 20,000 days that Kimberley's had to wait for this.
Wow, just glory to God. I'm extremely grateful just for him being faithful, you know, and just our motto this season was just finding a way, and everyone's character, their heart, their hard work, and just for Kimberley as well, everyone that traveled to Joburg, we appreciate you guys. We fought you all the way, and I'm really proud of it, from the top all the way to the bottom, the management, the team. I'm such a proud captain.
It just had to be George Whitehead, didn't it?
Yeah, George Whitehead actually told me now that it was his dad's birthday, and his dad recently passed today. We send him honors, and I'm extremely proud of George Whitehead. He's a great leader. He supported me in this role, and yeah, it's just so good to be a part of this.
Let's talk about the season and the campaign as a whole, because at one point it was looking relatively touch and go, but you guys managed to bring yourselves into the space.
Yeah, we are a band of brothers. You know, we've been together for 3 years now. A couple of new guys came in, but you know, Coach Pete told us, listen, we're going to win this thing, and we stayed together. We kept on working hard, and God's favor was just with us.
Well, congratulations on a great result. I'm going to stop speaking so that I can allow you to head over to the president of South African Rugby and pick up your Carling Currie Cup trophy.
This enchanting competition has written another glorious chapter into its history books. The smile on the face of Nkosi Dlamini is richly deserved. Tooth and nail all over the country. They never take a backward step. The bottles are already popping. And these are your champions of the Carling Currie Cup. They received their bounty, and they will go bouncing back to Kimberley to celebrate with their people. 55 years of waiting are done. It is time to party. This team have coalesced around each other, coalesced around the goal to lift that gold, which seemed so far away from their clutches come the closing moments of that match. One of the finest players this season, Dylan Mart, their reigning most valuable player for the Suzuki Griquas. And what an effort he gave here today. Fudge, this one is going to live long in the memory.
Yeah, it sure will. It sure will. So many stories where a lot of these players have come from, the opportunities they've had. It's just a fantastic season that shows there's good rugby and great talent in all the different corners of this beautiful country of ours. George Whitehead, what a player. Please study him if you're a youngster out there. Peter Berg, fantastic coach, so emotional. I mean, this was a real privilege and honor for me, and I'm sure yourself as well, Paul Stubbs.
Oh, my heart can barely bear it. It is truly an honor to be here today to witness these scenes, and I hope that these players are ready to receive an avalanche of adulation when they go back home to the Northern Cape. Kimberley awaits their champions. We're going to have a full breakdown of all the action that happened today with players that have seen these scenes before. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be back after the break for the breakdown of the Currie Cup final.
Utter elation for Jordan Hendrickson and the Hollywood Bet Sharks.
What a glorious evening for anybody wearing the peacock blue. George Whitehead rises to the top of the Carling Currie Cup, his storied career ending in glory this afternoon. And what a team this is. What a spirit they have among them as well. And led by Peter Berg, they have reached the rarefied air of Carling Currie Cup glory. And we are going to go down to the field to Ricky Schroeder to break this all down.
Yes, the man of the moment, George Whitehead. George, massive moment there at the end. Talk us through what was going through your mind right there.
Yeah, first of all, I think the opportunity arose, and all I had to do was kick that kick over, and then we won. So emotions kept coming after we won. But yeah, I'm very proud of the boys' effort today, and very proud of the effort, and for putting us in that position to get the kick at the end.
I mean, George, you've been playing forever now. It was bound to come. Was it that experience, that 36 years experience that came through at the end for you?
Yes, I think I'm lucky with my age that I'm still fit and I can still play. I'm very humble, and I love working and I love playing with these guys. So I appreciate that the coaches backed me for this game, and yeah, I'm extremely proud of the effort.
George, this is probably the highlight of your career. But you've not won a Currie Cup before?
Not yet, no. This is probably the biggest game that we've won for me personally and for Griquas as a union.
Well, my man, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Go celebrate with your teammates. Go enjoy it, my brother. You deserve it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Sam Ludidi, it's to you guys over there in the corner.
Thanks very much, Ricky, Butch James, along with Opa Muhuche. Butch, we'll start off with you. In fact, both of you can weigh in here. You've both been in that situation, both won the Currie Cup. What does it mean for the Griquas?
No, I think it's amazing for Griquas. You know, we know they haven't won it for over 50 years. So for a union like that to come and win it, we know they're one of the smaller unions, but the way they fought and carried on fighting all the way to the 83rd minute is just amazing. So yeah, a lot of credit's got to go to them. And no one's said well done to me yet for my prediction.
Congratulations, Butch. That was a great prediction. Well done, sir.
But yeah, unfortunately, sport, it's a cruel game, and there always has to be a loser. And I feel for the Lions as well. They would have thought they had won it. You know, they got a great penalty steal at the end there, and then they came back to the TMO for the deliberate knockdown. So yeah, I feel for the Lions, but I'm very happy for the Griquas.
Yeah, the Griquas definitely, I must say, they bullied the Lions forwards from minute one until the end. I think that's what got them the win today. But credit to the coaches, the young coaches that are coming through the ranks. Coach Peter Berg, who's done really well with the Griquas. He's just turned 40 recently, and I think he's done well. Credit to all the other coaches, Zwak Nkosi as well, who's also ended up in the final as well. So credit to those guys, and they've done a tremendous job so far.
I tried to have a word with Peter Berg a couple of moments ago, and he couldn't get any English word out of his mouth at the moment. How big the moment is.
Yeah, they were all pretty emotional there afterwards, and exactly what Opa was saying. You know, he's a great coach. You know, he's been up there for the last couple of years now and taken the teams to a few finals. So yeah, he really deserves it as well, and I'm really happy for him.
Ricky is standing by. He's yanking players right out of their celebrations at the moment. Ricky, you're in the midst of the celebrations. Who have you got with you?
I am indeed. I'm here with Cameron. Cammy, you smiling from ear to ear. A lot has been said about your back three that was lethal, this Currie Cup. Your thoughts on today?
Ja, ek het die woorde nie. Dank God alleen dat hy ons die krag en genade gegee dat ons ons sport kan doen vandag. En ja, alle eer aan God om vir ons die wen te gee vandag. En gee ons net ons bek die bal en dan maak ons net wat ons wil.
Net wat jy wil. Cammy, I know you playing your rugby in Kimberley, maar die mense van Ceres is seker baie trots op jou.
Ja, hulle het heel week gepous aan my en hulle het heel week sterkte gesê. Ek wil net vir hulle sê dankie vir elkeen se support wat by die huis en die ene as was 6837 Bella Vista.
Bella Vista, there you have it. Sam Ludidi, the celebrations. Cammy, thank you very much. Enjoy. Sam, back to you guys.
It's incredible to watch everyone watching these celebrations that are going. But it's been 55 years. I said it earlier in the build-up, over 200,000 days, or 20,000 days rather. It's been a long time to wait.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Now Kimberley can be proud, Northern Cape can be proud of the fact that they have the big hole and they're calling Currie Cup. So that's two incredible milestones. But it's been a long time coming. I think in recent years, the Griquas have really grown a lot with Peter Berg. You know, the back three have really played well this whole season, a couple of years actually. And today, to get the Currie Cup win, it's absolutely deserved.
Big thing for a small union, so to speak, Butch.
Yeah, definitely. And I think their trouble's going to be trying to keep you heard their captain saying they've been together for 3 years. So the trouble now is going to be keeping this team together, you know, because there's some superstars out there in that Griquas team, and I'm sure there are other unions that would love to have them in their squad. So that will be Peter's challenge.
Well, we speak about 1970. This was the last time that the Griquas would lift the Carling Currie Cup back in 1970. Picture was even a thing that wasn't quite thought of at this stage. A different game of rugby was played back then too.
Yeah, I'm sure the Wings were probably throwing the line out, and there's the toe poke for the conversion. So yeah, that's a long time ago. So yeah, like we've been saying, really grateful Griquas.
And one of the things, I know that you would have spent a bit of time travelling back and forth. People in Kimberley still speak about this day, and it means a lot to them back in 1970.
Look, they can speak about 2025 now. They can speak about 2025. They can speak about how they won the Currie Cup in 2025. It can go on for the next couple of years. But I think with the momentum that the Griquas are picking up right now, they might win a couple more Currie Cups coming in the future. They're more closer now than what they were a couple of years ago. So it's a great thing to see. It's a great thing for South African rugby as well.
A lot that is still to happen. The Griquas will celebrate long into the night, for the months to come, but the Lions have got to lick their wounds because it's a short turnaround for them.
Yeah, they've got to try to take a bit of confidence going into the URC. So, yeah, like I said, I feel for the Lions 2 years in a row now. They've lost the game after the Hooter, so you've got to feel for them. But they'll be sad for a few days, but they'll have to bounce back in the week and start preparing.
Yeah, start preparing because the URC Opa is what lies ahead. Big competition for these sides. We were chatting about the Challenge Cup that starts a little bit later on as well, but big URC fixtures that start from next week.
Yeah, it's rugby season. Rugby's going to be a thing right now. The Lions, like Butch said, they need to scratch their wounds and move on. They're traveling on Tuesday and they're going to play in the URC, so they need to make sure that they start off their campaign on a good note.
And then we're going to go from Durban, or Cape Town rather, on a Friday to being in Durban on Saturday, where that competition at the moment, Butch, is anybody's game.
Yeah, it's wide open. Obviously, we're hoping that South Africa can put 2 over Argentina starting off with next weekend. And yeah, let's hope that the Australians can keep growing and playing the way they have been and put 1 over New Zealand, so that we can end up winning the championship.
Opa, your closing thoughts? Real quick.
Closing thoughts is that the Currie Cup was an amazing tournament. Followed it for the most part, and it was lovely to see the young talent coming through in South Africa, and we do hope that this young talent stays in South Africa and they grow to become Springboks.
And a great final.
Yeah,
exceptional
absolutely
final.
Great final indeed it was. It is the oldest domestic rugby trophy in the world. And after the final that we've just seen, it is with just reason. After 55 years, the Suzuki Griquas have managed to pick up the coveted Carling Currie Cup trophy, and they'll be able to boast this and hold this at least for another 365 days. From myself downstairs, along with Butch James Opamohoja, the rest of the SuperSport team, it's been a pleasure bringing you the 2025 Carling Currie Cup. It is goodbye and good night.